season 2, we've been teasing some of these tapes so far, and I can't wait to hear what else John is going to say on these, especially because we were playing John on Point Double Point on Monday, where he's talking about, if she's recording me. I don't think she is, but if she is, I mean, so what? What am I going to do? Tell her I want to have sex with her on the Eiffel Tower? I mean, I'm just joking around. It's not a big deal. So, and then when he found out that she was taping him, he went into panic mode. So I'm excited to see what he actually did say.
Just a little bit that's been released so far is so revealing and so much darker and more disturbing than I ever could imagine.
Yeah, better than season 1 so far, I would say. It's really funny that John let his guard down again.
Just by nature, there's this extra level of stupidity, just elevating everything to think that he really knows he's being taped and he just doesn't care. It's worth it for someone to be nice to him in this moment.
There's also this thing he's battling called alcoholism that I don't think is doing him any favors.
Oh, you mean when he hydrates? It's just light beer, Carl.
That's true. You know what? I forgot about that. It does seem like when he's talking to Kate late at night and he's all horned up, that he lets his guard down a little bit.
Do you think he's blackout? Do you think he remembers this?
I don't think he remembers what he says. Because there are times when you hear him go like, well, what could I have said? You're like, I don't know. Do you know? But it is going to be revealing. It is odd that John gets so drunk and has these conversations. Kate's not the only one. So I think it's going to be revealing with, some of these other conversations he has with his friends.
Oh my gosh.
I can only imagine.
He's so lonely.
He's such a lonely guy. Now, we're not going to play the cop cam today.
Yeah.
Because everyone has played it. It's so funny. If you go up, my YouTube algorithm, if I was Aaron Immold, I would think this is what everyone sees when they go to YouTube, but I know that's what I see. There has to be at least 7 different versions of either the raw footage or people clipping it and commenting on it. I know you went on Uncle Rico last night with Anthony Cumia and did that. Anthony spent 30 minutes on his show breaking it down. It's incredible.
It's a work of art. It's every single beat. You need to just watch it in its entirety and then enjoy people's takes on it because you can't get through it. Every moment is filled with such shocking, depressing humanity. You can't believe the choices.
All right. We'll watch a second of it. We're not doing it on WATP. This is before WATP. Obviously. Yes, correct. I mean, just look at this man. It looks like he did hair and makeup for 2.5 hours to get this look. If you were casting this character.
Yeah, he looks like orphan kids in a rumpled trench coat pretending to be an old drunk.
It's incredible.
See your California registration. I'm trying to see if I can add something.
This is great. He pulls out a wadded up piece of paper, hands it over to the police officer here, as if it's like, is this it? Like, the registration for your car in the state of California. Do you have that? Here. Is this it?
Is that it? No, it's a 2014 Toyota.
Oh.
No, it's a 2014 Toyota. Why the fuck is that in John's car?
I think that was his, was it his daughter's car that he bought for?
Yes.
Yeah.
So why would he have that?
And he hands it to him with the attitude of like, it's a registration.
You said registration. Here it is. It says the word registration right on there.
Oh, so you're perfect, officer? So you've never made mistakes. I see.
His cop is so fed up with him, too. He couldn't be more annoyed with what he has to deal with.
No, I haven't. Could be in my trunk.
Show when he's searching for a clip.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's around here somewhere. I don't know. Do you have a Mensa card on you, sir? Yeah, it's around here. It might be on the dashboard. I love that he goes, it might be in my trunk. And the police officer at this point is just like, all right, I'm not going to watch this guy shuffle through papers in his trunk now. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Why did the cop let him off so easily? He was speeding, rolling stop signs, not registered, obviously incoherent and out of it. Do you have like this police officer is way too nice?
I've never encountered a cop like that. I've had a lot of bad interactions. I've had some good ones, but this guy was really, it was like a performance piece. He's like testing everyone. He comes off like a total asshole and dares you to just follow the rules and be nice. And if you do, at the end, he's like, I'm actually a really nice person if you just comply, because you didn't. And I'm just going to let you off for this, for this, for this. Just so you know, this reason I stopped you is insignificant. I could get you for 3 other things as you're glaring at me like I'm an asshole. And he really was like, I'm giving you a break. Welcome to town. You keep saying, I just got here. I just got here. Okay, welcome to town. Get your shit together. There's probably not enough cops there for him to not run into him again. And when he does and it's still not taken care of, I think that's when he,
The excuses are amazing. Well, I just got here from California. Yeah, 6 months ago. I know I need to go to the DMV. Why haven't you gone yet? It was 6 months ago.
They didn't invite me.
Yeah, I didn't get an invitation in the mail.
What am I supposed to bring?
And then when the cop comes back over to him, he goes back to his car. Oh gosh, there's a moment in here that I love so much.
All right, so who's that back?
What? No, I'm just talking to my friend. He's a cop out here.
I think there's no question of like who are you on the phone with or who are you talking to? What are you doing? He goes, oh no, I'm just on the phone with my cop friend. This officer doesn't give a fuck.
Of course not. This is not Hollywood. It's not about who you know, John. It's his one move. When I know Howard Stern and Jay Leno didn't work at the top, when he showed him his face and that didn't work, he's like, okay, let's try this one. You just have to be a good person, or you have to be honest or straightforward to win this guy over. He doesn't give a shit.
Also, the etiquette for this type of thing is if you do know a police officer, if you have a card, or if you just have a name you want to drop, you do it before he goes back to his cop car and writes a ticket, because then you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to say, like, look, I don't know if this makes any difference, and I realize you got to do your job here, but Officer Beverly is my buddy down at the station. I don't know if you guys are friends or not, but that's how you do it. Not I'm on the phone, and he's bluffing. I think this is like Gavin Newsom on the phone with Biden.
The phone's not on. There's nothing.
The phone's not
going
on. I don't think he's on a phone.
Prop comedy.
Yes, I think
I'm
you're
impressed
right.
that he went so far as to pretend to turn it off when he puts it down. There's no one there. If there was, he would have had a name.
It's so great.
So,
Do you know him?
Do you know? I'm on the phone with my cop friend. Do you know him? He's panicking.
Yeah.
He's like
probably drunk.
He's like like how a teenager would respond in this situation, getting pulled over. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, his eyes go blank. He can't focus on a word the guy says. All he can
know
do is
him?
give him that look of like either anger or please don't do this.
Yep.
all right, so this here is a citation for having an expired tag. In a couple days, it's going to be more than 6 months.
Okay.
Okay? Because why that's significant is you get pulled over twice.
Stop pretending you're on the phone, John. Like that. Oh, he's like standing there like this. He's like, all right. I guess
You
the
didn't get
Saran
the
is
part.
over. Yeah, you didn't
Thank
get
you.
the part.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Very
Great
good.
to see you. I want to thank the people who are here in the chat with us for another exciting episode of Who Are These Podcasts, the Wednesday edition. I'll remind you, look at this roster that we have on our super tip, supertip.gg/WATP. Have you seen this before, Adam?
No, I haven't.
When you go to this site, supertip.gg/WATP, these are the voices you get to pick from. You can have conversations with up to 5 of them in your super tip, and it is star-studded. It's an all-star cast in here. I know that my editor, Ed, is working on some additional voices. We got to get Chip Chipperson, Jenny Jingles is going to get added to this. But this roster is just about everyone you'd want to have.
It's a cavalcade of stars.
It really is. And so I want to thank the people who are supporting us through supertip.gg/WATP.
I tried to bribe that cop with a VIP pass to my comedy show, but that loser pig didn't know who I was. A cab.
That's okay, brother. I'll trade you a VIP pass for one of my handy-dandy trifolds so the pigs don't mess with you. A cab.
He really did need Delete Laws' trifold there. He didn't know where anything was in his car. And didn't know
What's
how
really
to deal with the
exceptional
cop.
is how everyone followed Cardiff's storyline of playing how John said this interaction went.
Yes.
And comparing it to how it actually went. And that is just
Well,
incredible.
that's why I'm so excited about WATP on Friday night, DabbleCon.live, because we've heard what John said about this date with Kate, and I'm going to be playing the phone call he had the next day.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and Kate, I haven't even listened to it yet, but from what I've heard, Kate's not real thrilled that John's implying they fucked. She's not super excited about that, considering she didn't have sex with this troll. So that'll be fun. Looking forward to that.
And he must be calling from his mother's home phone, right? Because he doesn't have his own, from a landline.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Well, I guess we'll find out. This is Germs Pyromobile.
You may know me from Howard Stern, The Tonight Show, and my traffic stop on Carl's Cop Kane.
I know everyone has done the cop cam, but we do a cop cam segment on the creep off. And Vinny and I will be in the Dabble House together. I think we're going to do a creep off episode while we're streaming everything live. We're not just doing shows behind the paywall. We'll be up on our YouTube channels doing stuff, streaming from the Dabble House. And I think Vinny and I are going to go through that on Carl's Cop Cam segment.
I hope you do. It's one of my favorite things on the internet, and I'm so glad we get to see them. It's a situation where someone is just doing their job. It's something they do every day, all day, and the person they're interacting with is having a kind of once or twice a lifetime moment. Like when you deal with death, everyone you're dealing with is either in shock or so over it they don't even know how to have a feeling. And I love when they get those two together, and this is the best example of that. Interrogations, body cams, things like this, when it's all a power play and that one person always thinks they're doing so much better than they really are, and it's just up to the cop or the worker to just let them unravel.
What I love about the cop cam stuff that's coming out on YouTube now, I used to love the show Cops, but the show Cops, they're following an officer around for a night and maybe they do one interesting thing and maybe not. Whereas with this stuff, the cream rises. So you see these videos that come out and 2 days later they have 2.1 million views. You're like, okay, this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be worth watching. So the algorithm helps. KJ coming in with $20. Love you, KJ. Still surprised he didn't blame the expired registration on Susanner. She got blamed when he didn't pay his internet. You got to understand, my ex-wife. Oh, I'm sorry, when did you get divorced? 15 years ago. Anyway, she's the one who's supposed to have. Oh, that was the thing we put on Point Dabble Point that was fascinating. Apparently, Kate Meanie's mom had a conversation with Susanna. And John was so pissed when he found out about that, was mad at Kate for letting that happen.
That's the joy.
God.
Hearing how when he calls Kate's parents or Shuli's dad, it's a great bit. But when you call one of John's family members, it's a betrayal. And how he goes about that is so fascinating.
Well, it proves what we've always said. John threatens people with the thing that he is most afraid of. So lawsuits or getting beat up or talking to family members. He hates that. Does not want to be exposed. KJ, I want to tell you, we had some good news. If you heard the bonus show yesterday, I had Blind Mike on the bonus show that we did. And I got a note during the bonus show, Boston might still be on. June 21st, tentatively, this might be happening. We might be doing a live show in Boston, so
No.
that would be awesome if that's the case. Daddy Poopy coming in.
Guess what? I too was late once. Look at me now.
Being late to your own stream is a real BITCH move. We were here waiting with our COCKS in our hands.
Sorry about that, Coach Scott. I apologize. I was here ready to go. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but
I'm having a drinking show.
Pete D became a YouTube member. Thank you, Pete D. Appreciate that. You go to the members tab, you'll see all the links to the bonus shows that we put out. 2 every single month. Space Ghost became a YouTube member. A big fan, Space Ghost. Love your interviewing style. Drunk Engineer gifted 1 Who Are These Podcast membership. Very generous of you, Drunk Engineer. Appreciate you. Raper Butt coming in with $2. You might say this was a swing and a miss for SJ. Oh God, it's hilarious how much attention. I was trying to put myself in Stuttering John's. I even said this to my wife. We were watching Cardiff on Tuesday night when he was showing this. I was like, oh my God, if I ever got pulled over and the cop cam footage came out, I can't imagine what John's going through right now to see that there's 12 shows all commenting on this footage of you embarrassing yourself. It can't be fun.
There's no way to spin it. There is no
No.
good way to put that across. Cunty Adam Busch is here too, says JMQ Legend. Thank you. That is true. Michael P. Earlier today, I was on the phone with a guy in marketing. You know him. I look forward to this weekend. Rest in peace, Tara, and go Bills. Thank you, Michael P.
Go Bills. Yes, I do know that guy in marketing. Close friend. Real good friend. All right. Are you ready to get the show started?
Oh, yeah.
Or should we promote DabbleCon.live? Dabble House this weekend. Go to DabbleCon.live. I got to tell you that the sales are going very well. People are excited for this. We are going to bring it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
How are the film festival submissions going?
That I don't know because I don't have access to that email address. So I'm not sure. But I know we've gotten a few in or a bunch in. I don't know what they look like or who's sending them or what's going on. But there's still time if you want to get your submissions in. All right, let's get this show started. I think I like to put an overlay up over us. Right. And then do this. Oh, I got to hit record. See, producer Chris isn't here. I almost didn't hit record. Okay.
You see, this is a we just do it kind of show.
Have you heard about the lonesome loser?
If I was such a loser, why is everybody so mad that I'm leaving?
Episode
611.
11. It's not even funny.
Ah, go screw.
Are you a boner guy?
Oh, I was a boner guy.
You know what? I miss penis.
What are you talking about?
I'm the one who should apologize.
Is it going to be absolutely riveting? Is it going to change your life by any stretch? Probably not, but it's going to be at least entertaining, okay?
By the way, for those people that are in the back, remember to shut the fuck up.
Cuz-a-roo.
Slap-a-rooney.
It's showtime.
WATP. Hello, Rubber Dicks and Cuzzaroos. Welcome to another episode of Who Are These Podcasts, the only show that didn't have an emergency episode about Senator and John's cop cam footage yet. I'm your host, Carl. With me today, a man who better step up in producer Chris's absence. No pressure. It's Adam Busch.
I cannot compete with his sexy gravitas sense of irony. I can't.
Annie was in the private chat just a minute ago asking who's going to bring the zings today, and I don't know the answer to that. Producer Chris is out on assignment. He's actually in an SUV with Vinnie Paulino on their 24-hour trek to Florida.
I love the idea of him leaving the house.
It's crazy that they're driving from Rochester to where we're going to be in Florida for the Dabble House, but someone's got to bring our gear and get it set up, and we appreciate Vinny for doing that and producer Chris for hiking along with him on that journey. Please go to whoarethese.com, get our email address, voicemail number, link to the subreddit, link to our Discord server, link to our merchandise, link to our YouTube channel, and the link to Patreon and Supercast featuring 2 exclusive bonus episodes every single month. I just recorded one yesterday. We got Blind Mike on here. We had producer Chris was here, and we were going through the footage that finally came out of Opie and Jim having that crazy blowout on the Opie and Jim show with Esther Koo in studio. And it's fascinating. Seeing those two go back and forth and, culminating with the Opie, I needed you that day thing, and Jim just really putting him in his place. It's fantastic. What was great about it is Mike is on, and Mike is a huge fan, so he knows the ins and outs of everything that was going on leading up to that, things that happened after that, you kind of understand what was going on based on what we know now. But then also E-Rock was in the chat helping us out and giving us some information and dropping the knowledge for us. So it worked out very well. It was a great bonus episode. Check that out on our Patreon, or if you sign up on our YouTube channel, you can watch that. Also, I do want to mention that if you go to whoarethese.com, we have our mailing address on there, and you don't have to send sex toys to Lucy Tightbox. You could also send cool stuff to the other cast and crew of WATP. We always appreciate gifts and drugs and anything else you generous people want to send our way. Always enjoy that. Dabble House Live. Have I brought this up yet?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
What is that?
Dabble House Live, April 11th through the 12th. That's this weekend coming up. You can watch WTP, the Uncle Rico Show, the Viewer Film Festival. We'll be watching Stuttering John on Wings and John on some other programming that's copyrighted that we can't show on YouTube. That'll be happening. We're going to have a wrap-up show at the end of it with everybody at the Dabble House, Dabble Point, Friday at 5. So go to DabbleCon.live to get your password for that so you can watch all of that go down. Hackamania, of course, is coming up as well, May 9th through the 11th. And we're going to be in Las Vegas, hackamania.com, promo code WATP for 10% off. We encourage our listeners, give us 5 stars wherever you review podcasts, then show over us in the comment section. Today, we'll be addressing Opie mansplaining the Dabbleverse to his audience. We're going to check out another classic, That Reality Show, with the worst version of Helga you've seen yet. Tom Myers has no idea how to troll Steel Toe. Michael Ray Bauer is reminding everyone that he's broke. We have another 2 minutes with Tom from Cardiff Electric. But first, Adam, you were chatting with Rob Saul. you were sending him some notes, and he was responding. So I wanted to start there. What was going on? You had some time to kill?
Sometimes when I can't sleep, Rob is there, and something happens to him when he gets tired. He gets into a sweet spot where if you just kind of pepper him with questions, I think he'll answer anything. He's too alert in the beginning. You got to get him right when people are kind of paying him $1 to stay on, and he has that look almost of Aaron's co-host trying to stand, where it's all just kind of fading. But if you happen to ask him something deep, he'll just answer it. And I think I got off a good one.
I think you did too. I think we found out some information about Rob Saul. Of course, I haven't checked in on Rob Saul in a long time. I didn't realize he's still trying to be the Dabbleverse villain. That's still his thing he's going for.
Yep.
All right. Well, this is a fun clip. Number one, I don't know if you want to set this up at all, where he's got the dog in his lap. And
it just blows me away. All of these guys, they're super sensitive about one thing, and they do whatever they can to dare you to make fun of it. If you are sensitive about people saying you love dogs, then don't do what you're about to do in this clip. And I told him, I chatted him, and I said, this isn't helping, and he responded with this.
Yeah, and I did speed this up to 2.5x because it does drag out for a while.
A long time.
Yes, Rob Saul doesn't deny he has dogs. Yes, that's just not a... Right, Jake? Right, Jake? Tell him.
So he showed for a second on the screen you saying this is not helping.
Yes,
and
he
now,
got rid of it
now
real
he's
fast.
and now he's gonna lean into it.
Yeah, look, he's getting mad because Dior's trying to get back up. Come here, Dior. You want to come up? Come here, Deep Deeps.
Never seen him happier.
All right. You be nice to him. Give me Dior. You be nice to Dior. You be nice to Dior. You be nice to Dior. He's allowed to sit up here too, Jake. Jake's ballsy. He's Dior's like, fuck it, I'm leaving. Jake, what are you all proud of yourself? Ain't nobody proud of you. Ain't nobody proud of you. Ain't nobody proud of you, boy. He thinks he's so tough. Jake does think he's as mean as Cujo. It's insane. Rob, who's more talented, Adam Busch or Shuley? Well, I don't know this Adam Busch too well, but I'm going to say him because Shuley has zero talent. I know, that growl, I know. He thinks he's so tough. Jake, come on. Jake, he's watching Dior. Dior's supposed to get back up on camera. Jake is like, Davey, come on, you want to come up? He runs away. Jake, why are you scared of this poor dog like that? Come on. He can come up. Yeah, Jake is a mom boss. I know. Yeah, that dog is tough. I know. Right. Rob Saul's bipolar bear $2. Like he says, Jay, this the dude, the dog effer I'm telling you about. Okay, that's hilarious. Thank you for the $2, though. Rob Saul is a bipolar bear. You ever hit your dogs when they don't listen? No. You gotta get stern with them. Rob, how many times should a dog be like, I take mine out, when I'm off, we hang outside for a couple hours at a time. When it starts getting nice out in spring, but I mean, if it's a rainy day, I'll take them out every hour to two, let them go out, and they run back in. They're good. They're all house trained. They're very good dogs. Yeah, it is what it is, right, Jake? Right, Jake? Can you stop being mean to Dior? Dior's trying to get up. He keeps walking over, and then Jake keeps scaring him away. Come here, Deeps. Deep. Are the other two dogs nearby? Yes, they are. Stevie's over there, but Romeo is right underneath Jake. Hi. Hello. Here. Romeo always wants to stay up. Romeo don't care. He's not scared of Jake's growls. Dior's a little bit of a puss, but yeah. I mean, Dior is, but Romeo's like, I don't care. Growl at me. I'm just gonna stay here and lay here. As long as you don't actually bite me, I don't care. That's what Jake does. He acts like he growls and stuff at him, but he'll never bite him. Well, he'll kiss him. He'll have his teeth out and he licks kisses him. I guess not Jake's
Right, I said this isn't helping.
Fascinating to go on.
It's ridiculous. So guys like Rob have no idea what they're doing. And so this is not a show. He wants to play with his dogs. He loves his dogs. He's like, guys, I have these dogs and they get on my lap and I love kissing them and playing with them. And it's like, yeah. Right. You have pets. A lot of people do. We get it. It's not a show. What you're doing here will not make you successful as the villain of the Dabbleverse.
It's not only not a show. If you invited me over to your house and this is what was going on, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to leave you guys alone. You're
Yeah. Okay, you're good. You got some stuff going on. Yeah. All right.
I'm disturbing you. You chose to invite us to watch this, Rob, and then made us feel like we were a third wheel.
But there's also, he could be successful if he stopped trying to be whatever he's trying to be in the Dabbleverse that no one cares about because no one's watching this stuff. If he wanted to do a show where he's like showing off his dogs and playing with his dog, like there's an audience for that. I'm sure there's dog lovers that would want to be in there chatting with them and asking him questions about his dogs. And, he's talking about how often he takes them outside and shit. Nobody really cares. Like it's not a real question.
No, but he cares deeply. And his
Yes.
problem is that character can't coexist with the one that goes immediately to like sexual violence at the slightest insult. He's still holding on to that John Melendez kind of comeback where if you insult him about anything, he's just like burn it all down.
Well, he also does this thing. The format of his show, from what I can tell, and you tell me, you're the one staying up all night watching Rob Saul. The format of his show is still just waiting for a chat to come in and then reading it and responding to it. He doesn't really.
That's it.
Okay, so he doesn't bring anything. He's not prepping a show. He doesn't have anything to talk about, right?
We control the show. I controlled the last 4 minutes there by mentioning his dogs.
All right, so here's another example of you asking a question.
What kind of speakers are those behind you? The best of the best.
So he can't roll with the punches. Like if you're going to do a show where you react to questions, you got to be quick on your feet, have something interesting to say.
Well, the dogs aren't nearby right now, so he's all lonely and pissed off. And...
Yeah, you're right. His demeanor's so different right here without the dogs in his lap. Here's another example of him just having nothing when he gets asked a question.
Who'd you rather sleep with, Mommy or Lady KB? I don't know. I'd have to see them. They have to submit me their nudes before I make a choice.
So already right there, you're like, okay, we're entering into his fantasy now, because that's just a question you could answer. But no, I have to see their nudes. But it gets worse. And this is a guy who hasn't gotten laid in a long time. I can tell you that.
Spread eagle nude on a bed.
I have to look at them spread eagle nude. Like his thought immediately goes to, what do their vaginas look like?
Well, he took it as an insult. You're right. There's that incel quality where he was threatened by that. And what was a simple, like, so who would you rather? He took as, oh, I'm not getting laid. Go fuck yourself. In fact, send me nude, violent pics right now.
Yeah, right.
Whoa. This was just either or, buddy.
Yeah. Who'd you rather sleep with? That's a pretty simple, straightforward question, you would think. Look at him. He just stares.
Yeah. How do you really feel about Clearwater Chad? I haven't seen Clearwater Chad in a while. I haven't even really thought about him.
Great. This is going great. Good fun.
All right. So imagine.
Yeah, final boss.
That's how long he stares afterwards, too. I forgot that was still going. It looked like it was done. So imagine not having anything to say to the point where someone brings up someone you know, and you're like, hey, what do you think about this person? You're like, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Adam, ask me what I think about Clearwater Chad.
Hey, how do you really feel about Clearwater Chad?
He's fucking poison for this show. You know how many voicemails I got from people saying never have him on the show again? He's a piece of shit. He's so boring. He doesn't answer any questions. That's how I feel about Clearwater Chad. You'll never see him on WATP ever again.
I don't know why for Rob, thinking about it now is not an option. Sure, in the past, but could you think about it now? Let us know.
Yeah, right. He's like, let me check my notes on Clearwater Chad. No, I'm looking under C, and I don't have anything written down. Like, yeah. So tell us what you're thinking right now, then. Okay. All right, now this is where you start to get psychological with them, and things start to get a little bit deep.
You know when people that come out of anesthesia, and you can just like hit them with, have you ever cheated on me? And they might just,
yeah. This
is where he's at. He gets real tired.
Wrote what's that? What have you never forgiven? What truth would ruin you if it came out? I don't know what truth would ruin me if it came out. I'm pretty honest. I mean, all the truths that I have, I guess have already ruined me of everything I've done in my life that's bad, because I'm pretty honest about it. Who have I never forgiven? I guess my ex-wife and cousin. And I tried to make that work for my daughter's sake, and I just couldn't do it. It can't happen.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's some heavy shit coming in right here.
That got real interesting.
That did get real interesting. He's created a hellish existence for himself. And you could tell that by that answer right there. The fact that you would ask that question, and my wife left me for my cousin, tried to make it work for the sake of my daughter, couldn't. Like, I have a lot of follow-up questions after that, to be honest. Like, oh no. Like, what's that all about? What's going on with the daughter? How does she feel about all this? But you can't be the villain of the Dabbleverse and be this broken as a person. Play with dogs. Rob, the answer is right there in your lap. What you should be doing if you want to stream on the internet.
And I don't mind him talking about this stuff if he wants to really be honest about it. What's so fascinating to me about this moment here is the same thing with Opie's show. Opie goes on and on about how he doesn't want to talk about Anthony, but then people ask him questions about Anthony and he answers them. Rob, you don't have to answer this. I just asked you. And you took the opportunity because you needed to talk about it. We're here for you, buddy. Like, go for it. Let us know what's going on. And I think it would be really interesting.
Well, this is the most interesting clip. This is a small clip package today. This is the last one, but this is all Adam putting this together for us. And this is I don't know how you came up with this question, but good on you. I wouldn't have thought to ask this.
All right, you got till, all right, 2:00. No, not one more hour. Yeah, $5. I'll go until 2:05.
That's weird too, where he's negotiating with the chat. You know, we make fun of Aaron Imholt for doing this, obviously. If you give me this much money, I'll do this much longer. But I've never heard Aaron say $5 and I'll go until 2:05. And that's...
Things get real desperate at the strip club when the lights go on.
Yep.
And everyone starts looking for their coats and there's only a couple minutes left. You're trying to get what you can.
What memory still haunts you at night? So many. I embarrass myself on such a regular basis.
Whoa.
And you know what I say? I always notice myself muttering to myself and go, oh, I hate it here. And I always say I hate it here. And I guess it's here in my mind when I'm thinking about like how I've humiliated myself over the years. A nasty meal, trying to, what's the most fucked up high experience you've ever had? Probably last night. I had a couple of those pickles, man. I went to bed, man. I couldn't even fall asleep. I was tripping balls last night. I really made those pickles strong. When did you last lie to someone you loved? Well, I haven't loved someone in a while, so I'll have to think of who I loved last when I can lie about them.
Wow. I mean, I feel like I'm in the psychologist's office with him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm haunted by so many things at night, and I tell myself I hate it here. And what I mean, I think, is I don't like the thoughts in my own head. Like, all right, I'm going to write you a prescription.
Yeah.
And you're going to need to start coming in a little more often.
Yeah.
This is serious shit that we're talking about.
This is what we call a wheelchair prison. Quadfather is free compared to this guy. This guy is like, well, I say to myself at night, you know, I'm trapped in here, whatever that was. And I believe him. That's disturbing and wildly entertaining and very revealing because he did not have to answer that, but he wanted to.
Yes. And he's living in, he's a miserable person. His reality is awful, and I believe he deserves it. I think that the reason why he lives this life that he's living is because he put himself there.
I don't know, but it was nice to see Nasty Neil jumping in and asking him about, you know, when was the last time you were so high? And when his response was, oh, last night.
Last night.
Yeah.
And it was not a fun, he's just like, oh my God, I had to be alone with my thoughts while I was high. It sucked.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think he was kidding. I think in his mind, if you ask him any day, he'll say last night. I think the nights get real rough. I really do.
All right. We got a bunch of stuff to get into. I've got a great package with my favorite, Lisa Boswell, coming up. Tom Myers trying to troll Steel Toe. We got some Michael Ray Bauer stuff. Opie, of course. Opie has done a thing, and we'll get all into it, but I always praised Opie for ignoring me. I said that for years. Like, the smartest thing Opie's ever done is never acknowledge WATP. And boy, has that ship sailed. I don't know what happened. Well, I think it's because he's ruled by his chat. His chat's all Dabbleverse people now, but it's crazy what's happened with that. Mugen. Donut Operator has the best cop cam breakdowns. Oh, I'll have to check that out. You sure it's not the creep off and Carl's cop cam? We have the best jingle. I know that for a fact. Dame Taft coming in on supertip.gg/WATP.
Carl put a box of crayons in my front crack to shoo the flies away. They melted into finger paints. I made you a cat painting, Adam.
It's fun to look forward to. Pete D is feeling generous today. He gifted a Who Are These Podcast membership. Thank you very much, Pete D, for doing that. That's how you get the bonus episodes like the one we did yesterday with Blind Mike Geary. Mike says, #Cakehorn. Monty with $5 Canadian says, thanks for doing the DSP segment last episode, Carl. You're awesome. Cheers. You're welcome, Monty. I think Darkside Phil is a guy who people have been talking about on the internet for so many years. So for a lot of people, it's old hat maybe. But it's such
I'm
an
not
interesting...
as familiar with him as everyone.
I'm not either. And it's such an interesting perspective because I see it all through the e-beggar lens that we've been focusing on for the last year or so on WATP. That it's amazing that these people exist. And like Rob Saul wants to be Darkside Phil. If he could be Darkside Phil, he would do that. I can make $1,200 in a day humiliating myself. I'll shave my head. I'll pierce my nipple. What do you guys want me to do, you know?
Is that what Darkside Phil does? Is he like a jackass Perry Calavello?
He is. Yeah. Well, recently he's been getting more and more into stunts. Like normally he wants you to give him money so he can eat food. Try out food or play a video game, but lately it's about shaving his face and taking his shirt off. And Jay Loiter, $5. Holy cow, this banter is longer than the first two segments of WATS. You're cheating on Mike. Love the show. See, Jay Loiter, you're the one calling it banter. I never declared that was banter. You'll know when I'm bantering because I have jingles. I explain what we're doing. That's how you know. Can you imagine if I was like that in real life? Hey, Mom, I just want to let you know I'm going to banter with you for a few minutes till Dad comes down.
And it's going to be world class.
It's going to be the best banter you've ever had. Zach Hoffman. The number 611, while not a prime number, is a composite number with the factors 1, 13, 47, and 611. Also, Rob Saul is sexually assaulting his dog's skull. I feel like we all learned something just now. Maybe a few things. Matthew Rowley. Adam. This is how it starts. Alone on the show with Carl, then alone in person, and then you are crying with a cop pointing to a doll's crotch.
That's how you end up in a cow bikini.
That's true. Yeah, cow photographer might have something to do with it, too. It's not just me. I have a team when it comes to that. Carl, FaceTime Vinny and Chris right now. I will not. Be funny. I will not Dame Taft. You know, it sounds like it'd be funny, but I bet it wouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it wouldn't be.
That's how I always felt about that chat you have with all the with Vince and Rocco and everyone. As a fan, it sounds like, man, I wish I was in on that, but I'm guessing it's not the place to be.
It's not that
it's
exciting.
Not the thing you want to be in.
I wake up to a dozen texts in a row from VTM, and I'm like, okay. It's exhausting, if anything. Supertip.gg/WATP.
You know what I love about dogs? They keep getting smaller, but my boner stays the same. All right.
Well done. I forgot. I don't think that's the first Rob Saul we've had on this for Super Tip. It might be. Although Rob Saul is here with the Rob Saul.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that's the real Rob Saul or not, but I like to think that it is.
I like to think that he goes around saying his name. Rob Saul.
I like that he's promoting himself by saying Rob Saul. I like to think that's true.
I have no problem with his relationship with animals. It's just that he's sensitive about criticism towards it. That's shocking to me.
KJ with $20. Did you ever think, as an O&A fan, you would someday have Opie so bothered that he went on a rant about you full circle. I can tell you for sure, no. This was never my goal. I never thought. We all have those fantasies about getting on the shows. Like I definitely would fall back asleep in the morning with Howard on or something, or even Opie and Anthony, and then in my dream I'm on the show with them. But it's what has actually happened is amazing. I've told this story before when I was at Chrissy Mayer's Content House in Orlando a couple of years ago. I'm asleep in bed, and everyone is outside in the pool having a pool party thing. I've crashed out, and I just hear Anthony cracking wise. And it's crazy because I used to sleep hearing Anthony crack wise on the radio, and now he's on the other side of the wall at the pool with everyone doing that shit. I'm like, this is very surreal. It's crazy.
You see, if John was still doing his show, he would clip this and say, see, this guy's a super fan. This guy's obsessed with me. How could he be obsessed with me and a super fan and still make fun of me and roast me? He can't understand how those two things can coexist. Can you explain it to him?
I'm not a super fan of John.
That's what he doesn't get. We love the Howard Stern show.
Correct.
Like, I had access to John growing up. Friends played in his band. I was obsessed with Howard. I waited outside Letterman to get his autograph. I don't know why it never occurred to me to ask those guys, hey, can I meet John or can I see the band? I wasn't interested. It was cool. I thought it was fine, but I wasn't like obsessed with John. He thinks your feelings about the Howard Stern show are the same for him and you can't separate them.
Isn't that funny how that works? Like Richard Christie, if I got to meet and hang out with Richard Christie, that would be a moment. I would take advantage of that. I think he's hilarious. I love that guy.
Just as a drummer.
Well, yeah, no shit. But Stuttering John Melendez, I never cared about. And it's so funny because I think Vinny told him that I have a shrine in my basement. It might have been Cardiff, one of those assholes. That I have a shrine in my basement dedicated to John. And of course, John wants to believe it, so he did. He's like, oh, yeah, Carl, he's a musician, probably, Rochester blue collar, wanted to be just like me growing up. And no, never cared about Stuttering John. Never was excited about a Stuttering John segment on the show or anything. He had his moments.
And finding out that someone he believes is his biggest enemy is actually a big fan doesn't help him in any way. He still wants to sue you.
I know. Does not understand how this works at all.
Nope.
Don't subscribe to Clearwater Chad on YouTube. He's poison to the show almost as bad as Cardiff Electric. You know who has a great show? My buddy Aaron Imholte. He's the hardest working podcaster.
We got to work on the Carl voice.
Imholte.
That does not... I think Rocco does a better impression of me than that AI. I could be wrong. No one knows what their own voice sounds like, I guess. OD says, do you guys think on his dive bar locator tour, Scorch stages a bit by walking into a bar basement where Opie just happens to be and formally announces that Opie will be the new pretty fucking good TV guy on the couch? That's an interesting scenario.
It's worth noting that it would help Opie to be on Scorch's show.
It would. That would be quite the crossover event if we saw that.
That was that final moment when John was outside of the hotel, the Howard Stern show we're staying at with, who was it? He was there with Melrose Larry Green and...
Yeah, and another whack packer, I forget who. Yeah.
And John, and they're all out, and that was his moment.
Mm-hmm. The greater good. Rob's spirit animal is a post-rainstorm sidewalk worm. KFT. Wednesday rules, Saturday people like black COC.
Well, that took a turn. It started, and then it, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with black COCK.
Nope.
Oh, shit. Now that's going to get clipped. Tim422. Member for 17 months. Out fucking standing show. See you at Hackamania. Yes, Tim. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Adam's officially in, by the way. I don't know if we've really announced that with a lot of fanfare, but we should.
No, we haven't. Let's keep it low-key, but I will be there the whole time.
Yes. Oh, you're coming for the whole weekend.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm excited to hear that. I guess you're getting OJ's room from what I've heard.
Requested the OJ suite.
Yes. That's a nice upgrade for everyone, I think. Lorenzo Ariola is here. Carl, looks like he pays his guests well. Hire me. Lorenzo, we gotta get together. I was out in Texas recently, and I was gonna reach out to Lorenzo. I don't know if he leaves his house very often, but Yeah, I was actually just wearing his shirt yesterday. I love Lorenzo.
Do you just blame him for not reaching out to him? He just said, I was there, I didn't reach out to him, but he doesn't leave the house much anyway, putting it on him.
Yeah, right.
Sounds
right.
like you didn't
I would
reach
have,
out
but
to
then
him.
he wouldn't have wanted to get together.
How would you
fine.
know? You didn't try.
Tony Maloney, ready for Dabble House. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. I'm looking forward to Dabble House this weekend. Tim, favorite word Latin, gravitas. Least favorite? I know the answer to that. I'm not going to say. KFT, clipped and sent to John. Fuck.
Yep.
Damn
They're
it. Well,
obsessed with me.
that's going to get John back in the Dabbleverse right there. Okay. I have a fun package for us today.
Lisa and Helga, these girls ain't fellas. Lisa and Helga.
That reality show was the name of Helga Mann and Lisa Boswell's show back on August 25th, 2023. This is a Friday show, and they have a slumber party on Fridays. They actually start the show before the sun has come up, which in August is not easy to do, in my opinion. So this is a very early morning, and normally Helga comes in with a disclaimer about the show. It's pretty long-winded about drug use, potential nudity, and all this kind of stuff. But Lisa actually comes in with a disclaimer that she feels is superior, and I might agree with her.
Welcome to Friday's slumber party on that reality show. And today, if you're a kid, don't get on here, okay? See, that's how you do a disclaimer, okay? You tell the kids to get out the fuck off the damn page.
Pretty good stuff. That does get me intrigued. Like, this is not safe for children.
They look like marionettes that were left, on a shelf that are moving and talking and shouldn't be.
I have art back here. You can't see it, but it's Beaverless and Butt Stuff. And it's them drawn as Beavis and Butthead. And anyway, not the point. The point is Helga without her wig is so disturbing. There is nothing ladylike about this guy. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend the trans woman here, but woof, it's not a good look. You see how dark it is outside?
They're always in a bad mood, and I'm always wondering what's going to make them in an even worse one, and it's getting up this early. That's just...
Well, I think Lisa goes to bed at like 6 p.m. and gets up at 3 a.m. or something like that. And they even talk about, I didn't clip it, but they even talk about how Lisa goes into Helga's room and twists her big toe to wake her up to come down and do the show. Everything's violence with Lisa. I love it.
Nightmare.
This is fun because Helga says something that cracks Lisa up. And you don't see this very often.
We're not doing Facebook Live. We're going to do YouTube.
Yeah, we're going to do YouTube Live, but it's going to be just about the same kind of fuck show.
Okay.
It's still going to be a fuck show.
That's good.
I love it when Lisa's happy. That makes me happy. But she was tickled by that comment. It's going to be a fuck show.
Do you remember Poltergeist?
I do.
They did Poltergeist 2, I think.
I've never seen
wasn't
that.
as
Maybe I
good.
have, but I don't remember.
Do you remember the devil was like this old man who would sing like, God is in his holy temple?
No, I don't remember that.
Very much like what we're looking at right now. Very much like people's depiction of what the devil might be.
I have to tell you, I'm looking at your posture right now, and I can't see everything that's going on. But you look like you're watching a scary movie.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Embraced. I'm like, yeah. Uh-huh.
Is it going to jump out of the screen at me right now?
John talking to the cop, like, please don't hit me.
Yeah.
You know when somebody smiles like that and they think it's helping, but it's having the opposite effect? It just makes me feel terrible.
That's interesting, because I watch these two, and it cracks me up. And you watch them, and you're disturbed.
Mm-hmm. But I
You've got
think
very
we
different
watch
reactions.
these, we're both chasing different emotions, but we end up at the same place.
That's true. All right, so now Helga is talking about her books and how she can't get an agent because of this thing that happened. And this is what I love about Lisa. Lisa shuts that shit down. Stop talking about the past.
And because I got in a pissing match with MGM and lost, I can't get an agent.
Okay, we're not going to talk about what we've done.
I'm
like
just
my
saying,
new-
this
you
is
like-
why I don't. This is why I'm not on the bestseller list.
You like my new
Those are
nightgown?
nice jammies. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I'd show you my new underwear because we got underwear yesterday, but I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
We're good.
I love that. You know, Helga's going off again on one of her stupid stories from the past. And Lisa's like, okay. I want to show my outfit now. Can we talk about my outfit? I'm looking fabulous. It's fun.
Every writer like that has a story about why they can't ever write again.
Bestseller. Right.
Yeah,
They're on the
and why
bestseller list, right.
There's no excuse. You know, MGM blacklisted them. There's nothing they can do. They can't write. They're black. They're out of the business.
It wasn't their fault. Yep. So this is a fun segue. One of the brilliant things about this show is how quickly they can move from topic to topic.
See, I got a pocket here. I like pockets.
Yeah.
I do like pockets. So yesterday, Donald Trump got booked into Fulton County Jail.
Brilliant. I like pockets. I got a pocket here. Donald Trump's in prison. That's great. And of course, there's a lot of Trump talk, as there always is on this show. I don't like to play a lot of the Trump talk stuff because it's very boring. But Helga says something that I think would maybe get you kicked off of social media in some instances. I guess not when you're talking about Donald Trump.
In fact, what I'd like to do is take a plastic bag, put it on a pillow, sneak up to him when he's sleeping, put it across his face until he stops thrashing.
I think that's illegal.
Dynamite dropping money. That's hilarious. I'd like to murder Donald Trump. I don't know if you could do that. I think that's illegal. All right. There's a big show announcement. Like I said, this is a Friday show. They got the weekend and then they got Monday coming up. And Lisa's selling this so hard. She's so excited about what they're going to be doing Monday live on YouTube. At this time, they weren't live on YouTube very often. So she's pumped.
So Monday, we're going to turn everybody on to Hartford, Connecticut. Everybody get ready for Hartford, Connecticut.
We're going to do a tour of Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
We'll drive around Hartford.
Yeah.
They're going to drive around Hartford, Connecticut. It sounds like a joke on a Wayne's World. Wait until tomorrow's episode. We'll be driving around Hartford, Connecticut.
Dover, Delaware.
Yeah. Hey, I'm in Delaware. What the fuck are we talking about? You guys aren't going to want to miss this. We'll be driving around Hartford, Connecticut. Okay. And then later on in the show, she goes back to selling this again.
It's going to be fun. Monday will be fun because we're going to go live and we'll take you all around Hartford and you get to see just exactly what it's all about. It'd be fun. So join us, won't you? Monday. We're going live. Monday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Lisa does have a charm about her. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's a demonic charm.
She's got an it factor, though.
Yes. Her phrasing and the way she says things you could never predict.
The it factor, like the clown, I guess, is what I'm talking about.
Yes, that I see.
That type of factor.
It's just the friendlier she tries to get, the more repulsive it is. It's a wild dichotomy.
You and I feel very differently about Lisa Boswell, I think.
But we love it.
I do.
We all love it. It's just for different reasons. There's something that this is where villains come from.
Yes.
It doesn't come from people who think they're evil and go around. It's from people trying to be friendly and scaring you.
I have to tell you, every time, we haven't done this in a few weeks, but every time I go back and I find an old That Reality Show and I pull up clips, I am having so much fun watching the show, pulling the clips from it. It's one of my favorites of all time. I'm glad that with Vimeo we still exists because their YouTube channel was nuked, but at least Vimeo is there so we can check some of the stuff out. Here is a question that Lisa asks about Hartford because, you know, they're promoting this big live stream they're going to do. Helga's paying zero attention to Lisa as usual.
I meant to ask you about that. How come it seems like everywhere we go in Hartford, the whole damn neighborhood's caught on fire?
Obituaries obituaries in the paper start at $300.
Wow.
Yeah, it's unlike any other show, isn't it? How come every place in Hartford looks like it's been on fire? And he starts talking about, Helga, starts talking about obituaries. And I didn't let that roll because I find Helga very boring, but she keeps saying obituaries instead of obituaries over and over again. I'm not sure what that is. Anyway, that's an observation.
Maybe everything's burning down because you're witches.
Well,
I mean,
it's funny because they start talking about how they're trans women and you shouldn't be afraid of them. They're not bad people, which is interesting that you're picking up on this vibe, Adam.
We're not going to seduce your children.
There you go.
I've never said that.
I feel like a cougar with a boyfriend who's only a couple of years younger.
I've never uttered the phrase, I'm not going to seduce your children. Like, why would that come up? It's not like someone asked me if I was going to. It's just.
And when I applied for this job, I was hesitant, but hearing you say that, I'm so comforted, and I'm glad you brought it up out of context. I now am excited to be working here with all of you. Why would they say that?
Why would they say that? Oh, that's great.
I feel like a cougar with a boyfriend who's only a couple of years younger. It's 3 years younger than me.
You think I feel with somebody that's 30 years younger than me?
Yeah, you feel like a cougar.
Yeah.
I don't know if cougar is the word I would use for these two.
Predator?
Okay, well, in that context, yeah, cougar works. This is a fantastic clip right here because Lisa is talking about a time when she was trying to fit in when she was younger. And I'm following the story, and then it just takes a left turn, and it goes somewhere you would never guess, and I'm still trying to scratch my head and figure this one out.
So I kept trying to fit in with Robert Ariel, who was my good friend, who's been my friend for 62 years. And I kept trying to fit in. I kept saying, oh, my God, if I could just be their friend. So here's what I did. I got a horseshoe. And so I said, you guys, I got a horse. He and Paul Pushkar, who died of AIDS. And his mother couldn't even say the word AIDS back in the 90s.
Oh.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it started with a story about you getting a horseshoe and saying that you had a horse. And
sounds like a cool way to make friends.
Yeah. Well, what's fascinating about this, so, I'm watching the show and I go, oh, that Lisa just, whatever, went off on a different tangent. I'm not joking. 10 minutes later, 10 minutes goes by, and all of a sudden she picks up where she left off on this horse story. I couldn't believe that she even remembered she was talking about it.
So anyway, I told my friend Robert Ariel when he goes, well, where's your horse? I said, he's not here now. I think he went to the store.
And if you're not seeing the comedic genius that is Lisa Boswell, you're not picking up on this. There's no one else like this.
I'm fascinated. I laugh on the inside, while
if you could have seen the time that went by with just talking politics and nonsense, and then 10 minutes later she goes, so anyway, what happened was.
And that did not resolve the story for me. I do not know what happened. I still need closure. What is she talking about?
She was trying to tell her friends that she owned a horse, so she bought a horseshoe and said, this is my horse's horseshoe. And then they said, where's your horse? And she said, well, he went to the store.
Right. And then they all made friends, right?
Anyway.
He sounds like a cool guy.
Here's something you probably didn't know about Lisa Boswell, because I sure as hell did not.
Are you trying to tell me I have to be black to be African American?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you got a little bit of DNA in you, enough to where I get jealous of you in the summer because you tan and I don't.
10% black.
Whoa. Lisa is 10% black. Now, I'll ask you, Adam. Do you have to be black to be an African American?
I feel like I shouldn't answer that question because I don't quite know what you're asking me. And
I don't know what I'm
afraid
asking
of a
either.
World that can be clipped. Do you have to be black to be
like Elon Musk is an African American, right? And Dave Matthews.
You could be South Africa. You could be from Africa.
That's what I mean.
Sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
Lisa wants to be
wants
an African American.
But she's talking about this is why she doesn't or does tan better? Is that where we're going with this?
I guess. I don't know if that's really like being 10% black has anything to do with tanning. I don't think so.
That's what she's implying.
Yep. They're not bright people, Adam.
But they have wonderful skin.
They're killing it with that.
Yeah.
Now, this is where they get into a discussion about people think that trans people are dangerous. And luckily for them, they live in New England. And most of the places in New England, very progressive, and it's fine. No one's worried about trans people being around. And I like that Lisa tells Helga what's up in this clip.
We can go to Massachusetts without being harassed. We can go to
Rhode Island.
We can go to Rhode Island,
Vermont, New Hampshire, anywhere in New England.
You get outside the coastal areas in Maine, it's kind of dangerous. But
Helga, no, it's not. People look at you weird, but you know what? America only knows about 10 to 14% of the people. Only 10 to 14% of the people that are out there today know who trans people are.
All right. A couple things I want to talk about here. First off, I hate, because this is very much a woke dad thing we talk about on Who Are These Socials, where woke dad's always talking about how vulnerable these children are in the LGBTQ plus community. And I'm like, you live in New York State. What are you talking about? You're not in the Middle East. No one wants to chuck them off a building. I don't know what you mean by that. And so Helga's also got this victim mentality where Helga's saying, yeah, you know, if we're in some rural parts of Maine, it's dangerous up there. And Lisa's like, it's really not. I mean, they might look at you funny. And honestly, I bet everyone looks at these two funny. I can't imagine, unless you're used to them coming into the diner, you wouldn't give a second glance over. What the fuck is going on there?
I mean, by the voice alone, through the voice, you wouldn't even need to see. Just you'd hear and you'd brace.
Yes. But I love that Lisa shuts that down right there. It's like, we're fine. It's not a big deal. But then she throws out a stat. And I don't know where she's getting the stat from, but she said 10 to 14% of Americans even know that trans people exist.
That's a correct. She did the math. She crunched the numbers.
I think. No, this is a couple of years ago. It's 2023. But I think she's off. I think she might be
a
off
little
on
bit.
that. I'll leave you with this. This is beautiful because, as we know, Lisa Boswell is a musician and was a touring musician, touring drummer, I believe, is the story.
Really?
Yes. I'm blanking on who was the singer for the band that she toured with, according to her. We looked for her on old YouTube footage and everything else and couldn't find it. But
interesting.
Yeah, it's a pretty big singer. You would know who it was. Robert Palmer, maybe? I forget.
Really?
Something like that. Something to that level.
Is she was one of the Addicted to Love girls?
No. She was a man back then playing drums.
Okay.
In the band. Eddie Money. Thank you, Don. I knew someone in the chat would know.
Really? 2 Tickets to Paradise?
Yes.
She's the drummer.
Well, not on the album recordings.
A touring drummer.
But she was in the band. Because Eddie Money always played with different musicians. You know, it wasn't a band. So, yeah, she was the drummer for Eddie Money's touring band.
But she was Larry Boswell.
Right, or whatever she was, yes.
Okay.
And so I'm always excited to hear her talents come out. And the name Sarah gets brought up.
That's her name. Sarah, storms are brewing in your eyes. Sarah, no time is a good time for goodbye.
Well done, Lisa. I wish I had a rose I could throw right now.
It's like the skeletons they show you at the end of Pirates of the Caribbean ride. There's while she's singing a love song.
Oh shit! I didn't even think of it that way. Now I have to watch that again. with that context to it.
Jaws got opens and closes.
Storms are brewing in your eyes. Sarah.
I mean, if you die and see this, you didn't make it to heaven.
No,
it
didn't work out.
good time for goodbye.
Wow. I think you nailed it with that analogy. It's perfect. Jefferson Starship, everybody. Classic from them.
They built this city, right?
Well, Starship did. I don't know if Jefferson Starship did.
Okay.
What a weird band. There's certain bands that just, they started out like a real band and then they just turned into shit. And that's one of the good examples of that.
Yeah, they went real pop.
Styx might be another example. Although I don't know if Styx was ever all that great. They definitely got shitty. I don't know.
Genesis took a turn when Phil Collins started singing.
I mean, I Can't Dance is probably their best song of all time, but all right. Supertip.gg/WATP is where you can go to support the show and participate in it like our friend Silent Shape.
The sum of the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side.
That's a right triangle, you idiot.
Duh.
That's why I need producer Chris.
Miss him.
We miss him. I'm glad he's here, at least in Supertip spirit.
Just do it. Observe and report. I'm not gay. I just like to blow dudes. Observe and report. This AI voice needs to yell louder. It doesn't sound gay enough, and you can barely hear the clubbed feet.
Yeah, see, I knew there were problems with it. You're not hearing the club-footedness of the voice.
I'm club-fucking-footed, you asswipe.
Reverend Billy, Adam, are you embarrassed to be involved with the Kate tapes?
Did you mean to ask John that question?
Yeah, I don't know why Adam would be embarrassed.
I mean, no, not at all. It's absolutely incredible. You can't find things like this. Like, actors search their whole lives to just find somebody acting as if no one was watching. To find someone doing that, while putting it all on the line with such ridiculous stakes and his sense of reality, it's just riveting. I can't look away. And the same way I can't look away at like serial killer interrogations. When one person thinks they're really getting it over and they're not, they're losing. I love watching that.
Reverend Billy, did you forget the way that Adam came about in the Dabbleverse, talking about his obsession with Eric the Midget and how that turned into Stuttering John and loving the Dabbleverse? I mean, Eric the Midget, those voicemails that he used to leave for Johnny and shit, it's fascinating. You can't get enough of that.
And I always say we forget how hated he was when he was alive and how beloved he became when he died. So I think there'll be a similar arc here.
It's almost like
not.
It's almost like O.J. Simpson.
Was he beloved? No, I think he was beloved and then hated and then just really hated.
Oh, no.
Right?
He's loved now. Are you kidding me?
Now that he's gone? Really?
Oh, yeah. When he was doing the Twitter world stuff, who didn't love
Hello,
OJ?
Twitter world.
Timothy McD coming in with the Tim hat trick. You're welcome. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you, buddy. Ryan Gallagher became a YouTube member. Thank you very much, Ryan. You'll enjoy the bonus show that we did yesterday, breaking down Opie versus Jim Norton on the Opie and Jim show from 2015.
Absolutely incredible. And especially given the context that we listen to him now, he's so alone. He's so isolated. He talks about how awful these people are. You forget that when you actually hear Jim trying to be his friend. And I know if Opie were to hear it now, he'd be like, oh, fuck, I really blew a friendship up over nothing. Jim's like, tell me what's wrong. And he can't even pick anything.
You're right. The most fascinating part of that, because now we know that Opie does nothing but trash Jim Norton and has nothing good to say about him. Jim has completely taken the high road, does not talk about Opie, won't address him if you ask him. I know from personal experience. And you see how Jim was to Opie at that time when he's going, Opie, all I do is defend you. I'm touring, trying to promote my comedy special, and every question I get is about you stomping on a cake. And all I do is defend you, and I got your back, and I always have your back. And can you just tell me what this thing is that Anthony did that you're so upset about? No, we're not close. We're not good enough friends for me to tell you that. It's like, Jesus Christ. What a piece of shit Opie was.
You see that Opie doesn't want this to be a friendship. He's not looking for resolve. And every time they get close to a resolve, he resists it and runs the other way because he wants this guy to be his enemy and for him to be a victim. And he can't even explain why. And I feel like looking back, he'd be filled with regrets going, why would I do that? Why didn't I just let this guy in?
Opie, I don't think is capable of having regrets. I could be wrong about that, but if you ask Opie the same questions you ask Rob Saul, you'll get very different answers. I'm doing great. I'm very content. I've lived a charmed life, Adam. Get out of here. I'm blocking you.
Yeah.
Blocked.
Then why is he doing this show?
I don't know.
Why is he letting us see all this?
There's a lot of questions. Rocco Orby does too, says for $5, bituaries is what a serial killer calls the list of hookers he has offed. That's clever. That's clever. Well done.
It's an actual term.
It could be. Colin Madden has become a YouTube member. Thank you very much, Colin Madden. Welcome to the program. Pete D looks like the priest from Poltergeist.
That's what I'm talking about. Yep.
I'll have to check that out. I'll have to look at that. Reno Zima Susan. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Reno.
With a little kissy emoji. A little
Settle down,
flirtatious. Mason in Portland coming in, member for 7 months, says, Carl, if you see Joey C at the Stevie Tomatoes meetup, please punch him in his greasy, protruding cheeseburger locker for me. I think he means his gut. I think it's what he's referring to. Mason in Portland, you don't like Joey C? We will be doing a meetup. By the way, I keep forgetting to talk about this. We'll be at Stevie Tomatoes tomorrow night, Thursday night. We'll be hanging out at Stevie Tomatoes 8 p.m. We've reserved a room there. So come down if you're in that area, the Cape Coral area. Come down and say hi to all of us. We'll all be there. Stewie felt this Genesis talk is maybe we want to turn it on again.
Good song.
Maybe that's what we should do. We should just reference bands and wait for people to give us money to read lyrics to us from the band.
Then how are we any different than Opie? I mean, isn't that what he's doing? Top 5 songs, isn't that what he, in between his...
It's FU Wednesday, everyone! And I also want to know who the man Wednesday. What's
Can't
up?
wait to whip him out.
All right. I was joking, but you did make me feel bad just now. Ricky Bev coming in on supertip.gg/WATP.
I have decided I need to express my manly side more. Some people have mentioned I could be homosexual. Silly. I found a men's greedy and wrestling club that meets in a boiler room, and oil is mandatory.
There's proof. I think you're fine. No one can argue with that, woke dad. Are you ready to move on to my buddy Tom Myers?
Oh, yes.
It's no different than, a police officer running to the scene of a crime or a firefighter running into a burning building. It's what I do.
I happened to watch this a little bit this morning. I saw that he was live streaming. So I check in on my buddy Tom from time to time, see how he's doing, see what he's up to. And, he's trying to start this rivalry with him and Steel Toe. He might have been successful at it because Steel Toe does talk about Tom Myers and vice versa. So this is him. He's ready to troll Steel Toe for his viewers.
So...
I just want to point out his hair.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's just bright green. Can't figure out how to get the green screen set up correctly in StreamYard. And every time I go into his chat, I go in as myself, my real name, and I always type in, "There's still haven't figured out the green screen thing, huh?" I'm just trying to help him out. Like, dude, look into this. It's a very easy fix what you're doing here. But I know we brought up Mr. Burns after his treatment in that one episode. And everyone thought he was a space alien. That's what he looks like, a space alien. He's glowing green everywhere. It's almost like Eraserhead, too, with that hair.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm still trying to troll Steel Toe, but he's making it very difficult because he's being mean and blocking me.
That's not how trolling works.
Yep.
He's blocked me, so I can't really get through to him at all.
Wow. Doesn't take much. I'm going to troll you so hard. All right, I'll just block you. Fuck. Now I'm out. Now I'm out. VTM would be very upset with this guy's efforts.
Yeah, he that guy shut down Shuli's Anonymous when John was trying to check it out, and he was like, "Oh, like that's fair."
That's right. I forgot about that. That was hilarious.
Hey, this guy's trying to troll people. He's like, and they did things to protect themselves like a bunch of losers.
Yep.
So I know he reads his Rumble chat. And like I think he blocked my email.
How slow is this fucking guy? The way he talks, he sounds dumb. I know he is. But he's certainly not fooling anyone the way he live streams.
You got to understand that all of those silences that he lives in, they're not silent for him. His mind is racing so fast. There's so much happening that he's not really aware that it's silence. You know,
You're
we
right.
have those moments like briefly for a moment if you're distracted and somebody says something, there's a second of silence and you go, oh, sorry, what'd you say? Like, he's lost. There is no multitasking. He's just has no idea there's people watching, and those moments are filled with panic and searching, and he thinks this is all active.
And there's something to be said for what he uses as his model. He watches Chad Zumach. And whatever you're inspired by, like, I've never enjoyed a band that was inspired by, like, the Sex Pistols. I'm not saying the Sex Pistols aren't a good band for whatever reason, but if your band is inspired by the Sex Pistols, your band's going to suck because you're not even trying to be good.
Unless you like the Sex Pistols.
And this guy is watching Chad Zumach and going, oh, this is how you live stream. It's like, well, you got to find someone who knows what they're doing and try to emulate that. Don't be inspired by Chad Zumach.
I never understood how Stuttering John could respond to people, making such specific threats at him with, wow, and oh my God, whatever am I gonna do? I'm like, why does he keep saying that? Why does he think that's a response you can have to people? And then I saw Kevin Brennan. Oh my God, that's what he's doing.
That's it.
It's terrible.
That's the inspiration for what we're watching right here.
Or he blocked my account, rather. So I found an old Hotmail account that I don't use anymore. And so I am going to now troll him. There we go.
So this is insane. So Tom is like, I'm too clever for this. What I'll do is I'll use a different email. Yeah, Tom, you don't even need to have an old Hotmail account. You can create an email anytime you want. There are people who have dozens of email accounts. There's a guy I know who has thousands of them. If you want to troll someone, you can just keep continuing to create new email addresses. And Tom's like, hey, little does he know I created a Hotmail account 12 years ago, and I can use that. Like, everyone knows that, Tom. Idiot. Tom's younger than me, by the way. So it's not like he's a boomer who doesn't understand the internet well, like he is, but that's not why.
He also doesn't understand how supervillains work. He's like, telling us every single thing he's going to do in detail before he does it, and the roadblocks he's encountering and how he's going to work his way around them.
That actually is what supervillains do, unfortunately.
Only in very bad movies.
Yes.
Get that notification off of there. We're watching Steel Toe now, so hit the dislike button, everybody. Hey! So.
Here it
I'm
comes.
worried I might be. MSO says Aaron.
And I'm going to be on. I'm going to try and get through to him on Rumble,
No begging, Steel
just
Toe.
because.
A little less liberal with the free chat, especially when MSO's talking about my jugs. I think there's. Here's the thing: if we're gonna do no begging days, then I got to be a little more stringent. I don't want to be stringent. Maybe I want to. Maybe I'd rather
When does the trolling start?
I know. What is he doing?
I feel like
What's going on, Tom?
And I completely forgot what I was going to say because he started.
Yeah, I can tell. I was like, wow, we know what I'm going to do is, and then he just gets sucked into the show immediately and is staring at it.
This rap battle did not get off to a good start.
Now, what you're going to see here is there's a chat that Aaron has pulled up on the screen because Aaron, his show's wild. So someone wrote Negro women on the chat. And Tom's going to see this and freak the fuck out.
Whoa, okay, come on. That's...
Oh, shit, let's see how today goes. Lab glass with $1.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna put that up on the screen. I'm gonna wait till he takes that down. I don't want to get my channel struck.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine if someone was drinking a Niagara Modelo on their stream? Holy shit, their YouTube channel would be taken away from them immediately.
It seems like Tom's the one who got trolled there.
Yes, correct.
I do not want to get my channel struck.
Because of the word Negro?
Don't be sending him money. Yeah, well, no. I sent him 2 super chats. He didn't. He didn't put the first one on the screen.
So
but
now
he
we're just
read
hearing
it.
2 people talk.
And
You
the
can't
other
even see
one,
the show.
he didn't even read.
Oh, so this is Tom explaining how good he is at trolling and how he got blocked. He goes, I sent him 2 super chats, and the second one he didn't read. Like, woof. You're getting pretty good there. Wow, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
That show's still on the air?
He sounds like he's a super fan trying to get a hold of some K-pop star that he loves. Like, he didn't read my first one, but hopefully he'll get the second. And
But he said, oh, Tom Myers in the chat, and then he went off on me.
Barely.
Change your name to definitely not.
Wow.
This is the funniest thing he's ever heard. Mint Diggity says, change your name to definitely not Tom Myers. And he goes, oh my gosh. That is so clever, Mint Diggity. Now, it also helps that Mint Diggity gives him money. So he finds Mint Diggity to be very funny.
he also looks right now like Tukey is sneaking up behind him, ready to take him.
I'm going to do that. Definitely not Tom Myers. I'll do that, Mint Diggity. But so I'm going to be in the. Okay, he took that chat down.
See, that's what I don't want to be.
He's so slow.
I guess it's kind of up to you.
Look at him.
2:15 away from
You can't figure out how to get him back on the screen.
Whoops.
There
Okay, there we go.
Jesus.
There we go. Wow, I didn't even know I could do that. I'm
Really?
playing around with all these little.
It's the most basic thing in StreamYard. That's insane.
It's here.
Gray Duckling who threw in 50. So Gray is getting 2 stickers.
Use your minions, us to do it for you, says Vaclav.
Minions. All right, let's fast forward a bit because, you know, he teased this great bit he was going to do where he was going to sign in to Rumble with an account that isn't blocked. And then what's Aaron going to do when that happens? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big Aaron Imholt fan, but I can imagine that wouldn't throw him off his game too much. Just having a guy in the chat that's Tom Myers.
Aaron's a pro.
I think he'll be able to figure this out. Let's see.
What about now? All right, so I am in the free Rumble chat right now. Hey, with my backup. Hey, Toe, I'm still here, and I'm still sniping. Enter.
Oh, and now we play the waiting game. What's he going to do with that? Hey, Toe, I'm still here, and I'm still sniping. Wow. And Aaron doesn't have a ton of viewers. That Rumble is showing like 300 something, and we know Rumble numbers are a little inflated. He usually has 300 something on YouTube at the same time. Tom has 9. It's like, what are you doing? What are we accomplishing here, Tom? You're sniping the show? Who cares? Who gives a fuck?
By the way, Bob Levy this morning had 9 members watching, and he was trying to raise $89 more, and he looked at the amount of people watching and the amount of money left, and he said, fuck it.
Oh, no.
And Bob Levy has, like, talent and skills.
Yeah.
This guy.
And
this
a
guy.
track record and fans and a name.
Yeah, it's all really sad. But, Tom, I think he misunderstands the term sniping is not just, you know, in and of itself hurting somebody. I mean, sure, you're taking some viewers, but you have to do something with it. You can't just be like, sniping commences now. You're really getting it. I'm doing it. You have to then perform. There's no way out of the performance part of your show. You're going to have to deliver comedy at some point. And I would add that the whole point of having your mic in a mic stand is that you don't have to hold it like this the whole time, which he does.
He's so uncomfortable. He doesn't know what to do with himself.
Every folly.
So Tom typed that in, and now he's waiting to
see how he responds.
Yeah, let's see how he responds. It's gonna be great.
It wasn't my fault. Somebody did this.
Morning, Chow.
Sorry, I got a little.
What's up, Chow? Says Mint Diggity. Got a nice little salute right there.
Yeah, you play the fucking victim whenever, because you have a choice. You can go.
Now I can't tell what's going on here. I can hear Aaron echoing. he might have him open in both YouTube and Rumble at the same time. That's why we're hearing him twice. Or it could be Tom's not wearing headphones. It could be just slapping into his microphone. So we're just hearing Aaron get picked up by Tom's mic because he's an idiot.
I just love the idea that he's like rolling up his sleeves, getting ready to fight. But hold on, got to say good morning to Chow. Then I'm going to whip
Chow's
this guy's
here.
ass. Good morning.
Oh, and here's an emoji from Mint Diggity. Let's pull that up on the screen. Wow, we're taking Aaron down, aren't we? This is good stuff.
Yeah, let's
change, let's be better, or you can go, who can I blame this on? So I can get shitloads of sympathy I don't deserve. God, I fucking hate her. What's her name? Emily. That's a great name. I will say this. That's a great name for a sex teacher. Emily Nutley.
I'm not gonna switch to the Rumble chat just because that chat's very
spicy.
That chat's very volatile, so I'm
Too
not gonna
spicy for
do that.
Tom's show.
An Ohio teacher was convicted of having
This is the worst trolling I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like this.
Whoops.
This is so sad and pathetic.
Nope. I don't want to do that. I'm using the wrong laptop. Hey. So. Say hi to me.
Oh no! This is so embarrassing. So now he's writing. So Toe didn't respond to the first one, so now he's got to write a second one, and it's the saddest thing possible. Say hi to me. I'm sniping you.
Notice me. Notice me.
Yeah. This is a super fan, like you said.
Yeah.
Say hi to me. I'm not trolling.
Emily Nutley pled guilty Monday to 2 counts of sexual battery.
I promise.
Having a sexual relationship with a student at St.
This is like when John was bragging to Kate Meanie that he's white knighting for her.
And
telling
didn't
her
understand the word.
Didn't understand what that meant. This is like Tom talking about trolling. He's like, look at me, I'm trolling.
Mm-hmm. I'm doing it. It's happening.
Sure
right
are,
now.
Tom. Wow.
Look at me. I'm sailing.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go to Rumble.
All right, it's not working.
Let's just go to the Rumble chat so you can see the damage I'm doing.
Oh, yeah. Let's see the damage you're doing. How many hit points have you knocked off this guy?
I mean,
what a fucking idiot.
I'm sure it happens a lot, but is a judge allowed to just fucking...
I think he's intimidated by Aaron's ability to just talk.
So here's mine right here. Hey, Toast, say hi to me.
Yeah. You're right. What's happening right now, this is something that's rarely seen in the Dabbleverse, is Aaron's doing his show. He's pulling up videos. He's commenting on what he's watching. He's doing his thing. And Tom's going, why would he drop everything and acknowledge that I'm in the chat right now?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would be doing if I were him. Like, yeah. Of course you would, Tom.
And also, his mind he can't process what Aaron's saying fast enough, so he keeps waiting for breaks so he can, make fun of whatever he said, but the breaks don't come, so he keeps moving on. He can't catch up.
It's funny.
Oops. So here's mine right here. Hey, Toast, say hi to me. I'm not trolling, I promise. Hey, Toe, I'm still here and I'm still sniping.
Until we see you again. I don't really know what the fuck you did. I don't know what's going on. I gotta be honest. I just came from lunch. They corralled me in the hallway. Said I needed to do this.
Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, take off. I trust you.
Do the damage. Yeah, he's definitely underrated.
Says, send Tom Myers the link. He's bashing your takes. Let me say something. We bodied Tom Myers and fucking crushed him in his...
Okay, so this is the big moment right here. So now we actually hear Aaron addressing Tom. This is all he wanted. Just please talk about me. So now he's talking about him. Maybe boost the volume a little bit, Tom. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Aaron's getting trolled real hard by you.
10 people watching.
No, you didn't.
And I think it got to his feelings a little bit.
No, you didn't.
Tom Myers is so bad at trashing other shows that he just watches them and participates in the show.
This is a retard fight, but Aaron obviously understands what's going on better than Tom does in this.
It's been a long time since I've witnessed something where Aaron came off better than whoever he was talking to. But this is John going, oh, as his roasting style.
Yep.
He's got nothing, and Aaron's calling him out for it.
I mean, like, I'm here and I'm fucking with you.
Is somehow worse at streaming than he is at comedy, and that's coming from the guy who did the bong hit transplant joke.
It's one of the more popular jokes out there.
I went with Tom Defense. I went with Tom Defense's comedy. It is one of the more popular jokes out there, my bong hit transplant. Not for the reasons that you want it to be, Tom. Everyone who references that joke is clowning your inability to write a joke.
Thank you, Ross Dog. I appreciate it. I hate this guy. He's fucking terrible. And what does Aaron do? He sucks Tom Myers in, and Tom Myers is commenting on the content of the show. It's too easy for me.
I mean, whenever you start talking about me, you don't hit the goal.
Tom is winning right now because Aaron talked about him and then he won't hit the goal. Because Tom couldn't figure out like why he was winning just now. He couldn't figure out what the formula is. He got what he wanted. Aaron's brought him up. Aaron hit his stupid applause drop that he always hits.
Tom's actually acting like, I didn't know he'd say mean stuff about me. I thought he'd be impressed.
Yeah, what the fuck? I thought he would run and hide.
By the way, Ross Dog throwing a couple more bucks. How many people does he have watching? Be honest. And this is after probably 10 or 20 of ours went and gave him a little bump. How many does he have?
A little
watching?
bump? You gave me like 3 people.
Yeah, and it tripled the audience.
Yes.
I mean, I'm the best show out there, and I'm the most interesting guy out there. If you can't draw a number with me, you're fucking terrible at this.
I'm the best show out there. See, this is right here where Tom should pause it or something and explain how ridiculous of a statement that is from Aaron Imholt to say he's the best show out there. And instead, nothing.
Like, if you can't bring numbers, then you're fucking terrible, dude. I mean, what the fuck?
I know you are, but what am I? That's what he's got. His first insult.
Aaron, for as shitty as his show is, has 80 times the viewership of Tom Myers. And Tom's response is, well, you don't have viewers. What? You mean?
It is an iconic joke, Brock
You
Love.
should read up on before you take the arraignment hearing then.
And now Aaron's back on his show.
Oh my God. Like that's
So that
we
time has
always have
passed.
this
That's
idea
all
that
Tom
You
got
suck
out of this.
Tom Myers
like
into this
machine work,
clapo.
you know? Like there's just gears and wires and
see.
electrodes.
Tom still
going through
lives, says
everything.
Sam
Everything runs the
Show.
way it's supposed to. And then you get a story like this where there's a woman who fucked her student. She's charged with 6 felony
Let's see
counts.
what we
The
got.
judge goes, yeah, you know when I let you out earlier with no bond? Yeah, sorry.
Send
I had
Tom
no
Myers.
fucking going on.
Ross
I really
Dog
didn't do
sent
my
him a little.
homework
I gotta
on
give him
this.
a little props.
Think about that. How often does this happen?
Tom, be quiet. I'm trying to listen to Aaron.
Like violent criminals.
Hey, Ross Dog, send me money, damn it.
She's a predator.
So that's hilarious. I wanted to get to that point. I know that this has been tedious for a second there watching Aaron's show. But
Sure has.
the chats that Tom put in did nothing. Aaron's in a segment. He's not paying attention. And even if he was, he wouldn't stop his show to be like, some guy saying he's Tom Myers. But Ross Dog gave a super chat, which got Aaron to acknowledge that he's being sniped. And then what you just heard Tom say was, Ross Dog, send me the money. He was up. That's all he wanted was the attention. Then he got it. And then he thought, but that $2 could have been my $2 instead of Aaron Imholt's $2. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. We talk about Aaron versus Tom. This is what we're seeing.
I just can't believe that, because I've heard Aaron do these kind of rants about how everyone's seething and everyone, wants to be him and how everyone that is sniping him is obsessed with him. It never occurred to me that there was a world where the person listening to Aaron say that was actually like, fuck, the guy got me. But watching Tom, like, he won. He got one over on Tom. He made Tom look stupid. Tom still hasn't said anything interesting or funny, and he was not prepared for Aaron to just have the slight ability to not let the chat dominate his show for a couple minutes or for 1 or 2 minutes. Just whenever Aaron would roll, Tom's like, oh, shit, I'm just waiting for him to stop talking so I can get in my diss. And by the time he stops talking, he's forgotten what he was going to say.
He literally said, I forgot what I was going to. He wound up for it. He was all ready to go and then forgot what he was going to say. Tom is brain dead.
Mm-hmm. But he shows up to the rap battle every week and he gets ready and he walks right up there and then he forgets what he's going to say and goes home.
And you know what? I just remembered something because all of these idiots, they all think that everyone's as dumb as them. And this is something that we've been seeing, like Chad and Stuttering John. These people are not intelligent people, and they think everyone else is just as stupid, which is why they think they get away with lies and project all this shit on everyone. I'm just remembering now that when Tom first started doing these Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning streams, I would go on and just type shit in there, and it would throw him completely off his game. It would totally mess with them, and he'd be like, So he thinks that happens to everyone. Oh, if I just type a chat in there, it's going to freak him out, and he's not going to know what to do. And Aaron's just doing his show. Could you imagine if every time someone wrote in there, like, Tom Myers, blah, 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 Aaron, like, lost his mind and didn't know what to do with his show anymore? That'd be pretty crazy.
This is what blew me away about Opie's TikTok is that I would just go in there and say one or two words and completely shift the focus of his show onto whatever bullshit I was talking about for the next 20 minutes. And I would be kidding, and he would take it really seriously. And it's like, gentlemen, I'm not supposed to be producing your show right now.
Right.
I'm only vaguely interested to begin with.
That's like going to the callers, like back when he was on radio. And then just leaving the studio. Like, all right, well, you just do the show now. What do you want to talk about? Oh, I watched the Yankees game last night. Yeah, go ahead. Go
you take it from here. Yeah.
You take it. I want to thank people who are supporting this show. Mm-hmm. The great Adam Busch is here. Ambush himself is here in studio with me.
Mm-hmm.
We're flying by the seat of our pants. No producer Chris here. Somehow we're pulling it off. And it's largely thanks to you fine folks like Cupcakes Corner with American Cupcake on supertip.gg/WATP, who says, oh my God, Lisa is absolutely the old man from the Poltergeist movies. She even sounds like him. We love you, Carol Ann.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to look this up.
That's
Everyone's
where real supervillains come from. They come from people trying to be nice, not from people trying to be evil.
I don't see Lisa as a supervillain, but I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Well, just imagine if you're not expecting her to be there and you walk into your home and they're there, like propped up.
She's a ghoul. You're right. Okay, good point.
No matter how friendly she tries to make it, you're going to be scared and repulsed and running.
I'm going to have nightmares tonight now that she said that. Silence do good. You take a few of these, Adam.
Silence do good. Opie's insecurities assumed Jim didn't like him either, so he got in front of it and he treated him like shit.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a great point. Yeah, we were breaking that down yesterday. Opie's just assuming that Jim's going to shit on him, so he shits on Jim before he can. It's just like, I wasn't going to shit on you. Try to help you out.
Colin Madden. Tom Myers looked exactly like the nerd who plays the electric violin for the Tri-Lambs. Lambda, lambda, lambda. Clap your hands, everybody. Everybody clap your hands, indeed.
Love it. I always like a good Revenge of the Nerds reference on the show. It's the only comedy movie where the good guy rapes the girl in the end, and we're all like, yay! Good for him. The 80s were a wild time, everybody, just in case you didn't know.
A lot of it doesn't hold up, but
yeah.
I'm glad Curtis
Did I change the angle of my microphone? Yes. Why did I change it? Because nobody pointed out it was wrong? Of course not. I don't watch the haters. He doesn't even like onions.
Yeah, good point. Before we were watching Tom, he had the microphone pointed incorrectly at his mouth, and everyone told him that, so now he's fixed that. But he still hasn't fixed the green screen glow that he's got to work on.
I remember chatting at Rob Saul when I was first working with a green screen, and I said, how do you key your green screen correctly? And he just took it as a diss and was all offended. And he's like, I was seriously asking him, how do you stop the buzzing?
That's funny.
And he's like, fuck me, fuck you. So, okay, buddy.
Very insecure. A lot of insecurity at the Dabbleverse. And coming up, by the way, we're going to do some Donkeylips, but after that, Opie, he is the epitome of insecurity. Mm-hmm. It's incredible to watch that guy.
Looking for a ticket to take you away from the toe, April? Bananas and blow. Oh, bananas and blow. Bananas and blow. Oh. April stuck Nick's cabana, sucking his banana and snorting his blow.
Mr. Devin's coming in with a Ween parody, apparently. Bugle Me This. Sounds to be a lot of good cop videos. Bugle Me This. Comes in with $10. Go ahead, Adam.
Who the fuck is he talking to? He acts as if there's a 10,000 person audience, when in reality there's probably 5 at best. The joke is he thinks he's funny. Bugle me this.
It's incredible.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
I have the link to Tom's latest Tom Myers vs. the Rest of the World, the political show he does with his monologue, and I couldn't take any more Tom Myers, so I bailed on it. I was like, let's move on.
Were there any highlights? Was there any awkward moments? Or?
Oh, yeah. In fact, he's editing it now, so he's taking out I think he's listening to the feedback, because he's taking out the awkward panel laughs that come in after his joke. So it's like edited real tight. And it's very odd. Like there were moments where I'm like, was that the punchline? Sounds like he's setting up something else now. Anyway, save it for another time. It's great.
I love when he puts an effort in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
Anonymous, Tom and Aaron fighting to see who's the more badass is like two bald men fighting over a comb, particularly when these two are going bald. That is very true.
It's not even an analogy. It's almost like the real thing.
Mm-hmm. Bugle me this. Who the fuck is he talking to? Same thing. He acts as if there's a 10,000-person audience glued to every word when there's 5 watching at best. The joke is he thinks he's a comedian. Hi, Adam. Better the second time. Hi, Bugle me. Oops, sent the super tips twice. That's fine. It's all good. It happens to me sometimes. And sometimes I'm spelled Magneto Magento, but everybody just rolls with it.
And feel free to make that mistake all you want on this very program. We have no problem with that. A Reno coming in.
If you don't remember me, that makes me mad, Adam.
Oh, no.
I didn't mean to piss you off, but
all right.
I have that effect on people. Queef in the night. Long legs vibes. Exactly, right? There's just something uncanny valley about them. Huh, what, why? Colin's best work was on Disney's Tarzan. Don, SJ likes to studio. Whoa, ho.
You know, we were having a lot of Steely Dan talk on this program just a month or two ago. Is this going to turn into a whole Genesis discussion?
Well, it's just like anything that would repel women, just you guys run towards. Big Daddy Dodo, the fuck is up with that hairline? Yes, he's radioactive.
It's not great.
He's turning into Tukey.
It's not great.
Rock War B 2002, Tom is turning into Professor Chaos.
Yeah, you want to talk about a super villain? Holy shit. Tom Myers fits the description to a T. Andrew V became a YouTube member. Thank you very much, Andrew V. We got bonus shows that we put up on this channel 2 every single month just for you members or on the Patreon. We get you there too.
Diablo Sandwich, The Wire Season 6 will focus on the open mic scene in Baltimore. Tom features as a failing comic who becomes a drug mule. He's killed by zombie Omar. I mean, it's a great storyline. I would watch that.
It's great,
I would
yeah.
read that as a comic. The one pun, Tom is really trying to start war. It's compelling. It is. It is, because that's how supervillains happen. They don't know what they're doing. They accidentally destroy the world because they hit the wrong button. Reno Zima Susan. That's a Vegas beer sales Jerry's wife. The green glow makes me think that he's a trauma villain. Yes, that's exactly what he looks like, the Toxic Avenger.
Look at this. Jim Larison coming in with a $50 spot. We do appreciate that kind of support. And so do the kids. Carl and Adam are the greatest form of entertainment and comedy since Artie Lang was on the Howard Stern. I love what you guys do. Thanks for all you do. High praise. High praise indeed. Gosh, those were good years. You remember when Artie was on and John was off? Remember how good that show used to be? When Richard and Sale came on board, they went over to Sirius.
But you could come enjoy it in our 2-man show, Pumpin' Gas in Massapequa at Dabble House in Cape Coral, Florida.
That's right. Timothy McD, looking forward to seeing you in Beantown. Yeah, I'm fingers crossed. It still hasn't been finalized, but we're hoping to get to Boston on June 21st is the date. Dick Masterson's chomping at the bit because this is going to be his last show. He's having a kid in July. No more live shows for quite some time. So he really wants to make this happen.
Oh, so he's running away. I see. Running away.
Yeah, run.
Run.
Steve Morton, remember the South Park episode where Randy says, "I'm not an artard" in a deflated tone? That was the energy Tom brought to Aaron's insults. Not a retard. Latest man on Mars. Lisa's an older, more insane Lady Di. Yeah. More insane stuff, but I hear you. Steely Dan and Genesis equal moist cooters. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My wife loves Steely Dan. I don't know what you're talking about.
Women love Donald Fagen.
They do. All right. Let's talk about Donkeylips. Michael Ray Bauer, you put together some clips for us here. Where do you want to begin?
I mean, let's start right at the beginning. I'm trying to hate him, but I'm having a hard time doing it. I really am. I see how he pretends to be a little more pious and pure than he really is, because when it comes down to it, it always goes back to the money, and he's very aware of that, of making himself seem smaller than he is. But goddamn it, I'm sympathetic to the fucker.
Okay, so this is from his movie review, late night movie review show.
Yeah, even his movie reviews have to circle back to help me in very subtle ways.
There it is on screen, and I do have donation portals down below. Cameos available, anything to support your boy trying to make a living out of YouTube since acting work ain't coming so greatly. And please forgive me for being MIA. I deal with depression. It seems to be a monthly thing. It's not PMS, it's DMS. Depression must stay away for a good while. All right, let's get right into it.
Does he think stay away is one word? How is that DMS?
I mean, it's just so the anti-John. I find it so refreshing because we would mock John for setting up some random clip to a Superman movie by bragging about how well he's doing, how he just came back from the psychologist, and I got a perfect 10 in mental health, and how he's starring in an IBM commercial. Now here's Superman. So here's some guy going, I'm broke, I'm dressed like a condom, and I am out of acting work. Anyway, here's Superman. It's like, wow, and I'm seasonally depressed.
I've got nothing going on, and I was just going through a bout of depression, and feel bad for me. I want to play the intro to this show that he does, Late Night Movie Review, and this is an odd one because he's watching a trailer, and he reviews a trailer for some reason. And by the way, he likes the movie. Spoiler. He hasn't even seen it yet. No one has, and he's like, "This movie was good,"
and defending it.
Yeah, and defending it against haters immediately because of the logo, Superman logo. So this is the intro to this show.
My name is Mike, and I like movies late at night. Today's review, Superman extended trailer. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mikey Ray Bauer.
That might be the laziest intro I've ever seen. But my first thought when I saw that was like, oh shit, what happened to Doug Benson? Remember Doug Loves Movies? That was a pretty big podcast. And so I looked it up because I'm like, I haven't heard that name. I haven't seen him on anything in forever. I went to his YouTube channel. The last time he posted a video was 7 years ago. It was actually an episode with Tim Dillon, who I was not nearly as popular back then 7 years ago. But what happened to Doug Benson? Does he doesn't do that anymore?
Doug Benson. I'm sure he's still doing stand-up. I'm sure he's still smoking and putting on live streams, even if he's not doing the Doug Loves Movies.
I would
He's
think.
got to be doing something.
I would think so. I actually hung out with Doug Benson, quote unquote, on a Weezer cruise back in the day. I got to watch a live taping of Doug Loves Movies.
And he's great. He's fantastic.
Yeah, he's fun. He's a funny guy.
But do either one of them have a degree from NYU? Because if they don't, they shouldn't be weighing in on films. They have no opinion.
Correct. All right. You want to get into Superman logo talk?
Again, he can't mention anything without subtly reminding you that he's broke and needs money.
And I know for a fact a lot of people did not like the logo in this movie. I like it. Why? Because I'm a fan of All-Star Superman, if you guys remember that, from back in the days, like the comic book and stuff like that. And because I collected a bunch of comics, man. Oh, I need to do that again. I miss that fun and that excitement. I just don't got no money.
It's on us now, right? It's on us. He'd be so much happier. It's just so refreshing. Again, like when you see John and he's trying to pretend he's on Meet the Press and he just looks like this wet gargoyle that should not be talking politics with these other people. It's so disturbing. This guy's talking about exactly what you expect him to be talking about. This is where he should be.
But after this, he brags about his boat, though, right?
No,
he doesn't brag about owning a boat and a Harley, or
no, but he does kind of put it on us that if we were tipping a little bit more, then he could get more comics.
You know what's funny about this is a lot of these guys who are excited, like adults who are excited about comic books, like Vito Gesualdi, the list goes on, or if they're excited about toys, you know, like guys. My buddy Vinny Paulino is a collector. He'll buy all the wrestling toys and stuff like that. A lot of these guys do this because they couldn't afford it as children. And now that they're adults, they can go buy all the stuff they wanted as kids. It kind of like fills that need. They're like, oh, wow, this is so cool. A 12-year-old Carl would have loved this. This is so neat that I'm able to go out and purchase for myself. This guy's the exact opposite. He wants to be reading comics as a 50-year-old adult and can't afford them like an 8-year-old child.
Oh, and he should be reading. Like, he should be spending his time doing things productive like that. Like, we
Yes.
should be buying him anything to read. But again, it's just the subtle, he pretends he's, so innocent, but he has a little wink every time he brings up giving him money. He kind of has a smirk to the camera like, you going to help me now?
By the way, the static on this show, is that bugging the shit out of you? The
I think
noise.
that's his lisp. I think it's just saliva.
just a constant lisp.
Gotta be more
that's going
tolerant.
on.
Yeah.
The end of his show, so you saw the intro. The end of his show, he's another guy who's just a slow. We watch him, it's almost like layers. As he's producing the outro, he has to click this thing and then click that thing and then click this thing. And you hear each click and how long it takes him to do it.
Pick up some merch, donations down below, help support your boy. Try to make a living out of this YouTube thing. That being said, I'll see you on the next one. My name is Mike, and I like movies.
So did he miss a bunch of things? What is he clicking on? Nothing was even happening.
Maybe it also works as ASMR for live streamer. People just hearing the process. There's something comforting about the soft click of the mouse.
I had to yell at Cardiff way back in the day because he would come on the show and I just hear him clicking his mouth. We're doing a show together and he's not participating. He's doing something else. I just hear his mouse clicking all over the place. I'm like, you got to get a trackpad or something. I don't want to hear mouse clicking. Maybe that bothers me more than other people. I hate it. I don't want to hear it.
It's an older person or a boomer thing where every time just stops when they're looking at their phone. When they look at a screen, there's no awareness that anything's happening. And no matter who they are, they could be legends. I worked with John Lovitz not that long ago, and I'm just, eating up every word he's saying, and we're talking about Paul Rubens, and at some point he chooses to pull up a... Sorry. He pulls up a YouTube clip of a Saturday Night Live bit that he did with Paul Rubens, and you're just standing there while he's standing there pulling it up, trying to... And then he does, and then he's like, "We're gonna watch." He doesn't say a word. I just realized, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch just 6, 7, 8 minutes.
Oh wow, that's awkward.
It's very awkward. Also amazing, and I love hearing what he has to say about it. It's the best. But those older people, the second there's a screen and he falls under that category, I don't think he's present when that stuff is happening.
That's hilarious. All right, I was fucking with you with the name dropping thing. That actually is a very interesting. John Loves is great. So this is a clip that you pulled from a whole different stream that he was doing from his bathroom. And we get to watch Michael Ray Bauer process criticism.
Yeah.
Do you have any setup to that, or is that good enough?
That's perfect.
All right.
I'll be pissed off. It always hurts when you have to look at yourself or when other people help you look at yourself. It really hurts. It really does. But you have to, after the phone call or the conversation with whatever that person tells you, then you have to figure it out if it is really true or relevant. And it probably is, because it's coming from a person that loves you or cares for you. Then you got to reflect on it and be like, damn, they see this pattern or this thing I'm doing and I don't always see it. So maybe I should think about trying to change it. Doesn't mean you will. It might take a long time and it might never change. But at least thinking about it and realizing your own personal flaws is a good thing.
I would argue just the opposite. If someone alerts you to a flaw that you have and you acknowledge it and don't change it and never change it, that's awful. That sounds like a terrible thing.
It's one of the special things about this show is we get to see these people 20 years ago and then now having the exact same perspective. Anytime you mention to Opie that he should possibly take responsibility for anything, he's just like, oh, so you're going to blame me for all of it. That was 20 years ago on that tape with you and Mike, listening to him and Jim. And then he does the same thing on his live stream today. They don't learn. John doesn't learn. At least this guy is talking about it or acknowledging it in some way. It just takes that little bit of air for me to feel release.
Isn't that funny? that he recognizes people say shit that I'm doing wrong, and they're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, good. Yeah, this is perfect. This is how you fix everything. But I'm not going to do anything about it. I mean, I'm sure his doctor has to be so frustrated.
You think he has a doctor?
Oh yeah, he talks about going to the doctor a lot. The health issues he has. He needs like a heart procedure coming up soon. He's all nervous about that.
Oh.
Yeah, he's one of these guys who's just like, Michael, you got to start exercising. You got to eat less. You got to get out of the house. You need to breathe fresh air, get sunshine. I know. I should. Like, no.
Chili dogs and Superman.
Yeah, right. He hears watch the new trailer 7 times in a row. It's like, no. I really need you to change your lifestyle. You're going to die young. And he's just like, I know. That's why Michael Ray Bauer.
I feel like we would donate to a GoFund. It's pretty good. We donate to a GoFundMe for his like health issues, and he would just show up in a new car and have no sense of.
Yeah, it'd be like Godfrey trying to get money for his special. You're like, I need $200,000 for a special. Well, I'll take $40,000 to live for the year. That's fine too.
Yeah, either way, but those cameras are expensive.
Yes, they are. All right, this is the last clip that you sent me for Michael Ray Bauer, and he's on Cameo. He mentions it. You can order Cameo from him. And here's an example of what you might get when you order a Cameo.
Josh, my good buddy, it's your friend till the end, Michael Ray Bauer. Natanya mentioned that you're dealing with a lot of stuff, and I just wanted to let you know my heart and my prayers go out to you. I'm on bed rest as well.
Jesus.
And you might remember me from shows like Salute Your Shorts, The Wonder Years.
Nope.
And some movies like Evolution and Dude, Where's My Car?
Nope.
And I just wanted to say we love you, and we're all rooting for you.
That is another similarity between him and John. They're both in Dude, Where's My Car? We should do a watch along for that just to see where these two idiots show up.
I just love to hear John ripping into this guy and saying he has no credits, and then he finds out they have the same credit.
Yeah, right.
And what makes this guy think that his friend that's going through something wants to see him with his shirt off, laying in bed?
But that's the laziest Cameo I've ever seen. This guy is like begging for money, and then someone goes, all right, here's some money. He goes, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, you remember me from Salute Your Shorts. Bye-bye. Thanks.
But you might remember me from my resume, but also I'm going through some stuff right now. He gets that off right at the bat. He wants everyone to know he's suffering.
Right. Oh, Donkeylips. So he's on with Kiki tonight.
Tonight at 7 or something.
Oh, so they might be on right now. Don't leave right now. Don't leave and go anywhere.
Commence sniping.
So I was messaging because it got brought up in my This Little Piggy text thread that I'm in. It was mentioned that he's going to be on with Keanu. And I was in there talking about how this is great. Keanu's going to get the answers that we need. She's a great journalist. We're going to finally figure out what's up with Donkeylips. And Patrick Melton was speculating that what'll happen from this is that Keanu will drag him to MLC like a dead mouse, bringing to the owner, oh, look at what I got for you. And Kevin Brennan will eventually get Michael Ray Bauer on the show. We'll see. That was the speculation from...
He's been rhapsodizing about Kevin Brennan for a while now. He loves Kevin because Kevin said nice things about him and
That's
sent him
right.
some money. So he's ready to go. He doesn't need a beard. He can just head right there.
That's true,
Kevin
yes.
He has an open, spots for any guest available.
That is a good
not
point.
a lot of advanced booking going on there. Reno Zima Susan, you do remember. Call me Adam. I'm leaving VBJ. I don't know what all that means. Stewie Felt, Donkeylips, and Discount Don should do a show.
Wow. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how that would work, honestly.
Necessary.
But I'll be hanging out with Discount Don this weekend at the Dabble House. DabbleCon.live is where you want to go to watch the pay-per-view of the Season 2 Kate Meanie Tapes edition. And we have a lot of other programming scheduled that we're very excited about. I'm flying out tomorrow morning. Be down in Florida. We'll be hanging out at Stevie Tomatoes Thursday night, tomorrow night, to hang out with everyone. And drop by and say hello. If you're in the Cape Coral area, that's where we'll be.
Is it true that John was 86 from that place?
That's the rumor. We'll find out. I mean, we'll ask. I know that Shuli's bringing the Stuttering John puppet So if the puppet gets kicked out, then that'll be a clue as to what's going on.
The puppet's going to be asked to pay a very large tab.
That would be even funnier. Like, you're showing your fucking face in here, motherfucker. You know how much money you owe us?
You better have a bag full of chippies.
All right. How's my internet doing? I feel like am I freezing up or anything?
Not yet.
Okay. It's showing me that my internet's low, which is weird. Shouldn't be that way. I am hardwired into my Spectrum modem, but you just can't have nice things around here. Let's get into it. Opie has officially entered the Dabbleverse. He's all in.
Ba, 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 ba.
What I love about Opie is his insecurity and his arrogance. Those are two things that go together very well for WATP. And what he's going to do here is he's going to tell everyone all about the Dabbleverse, what it's about, what's going on. And it's surprising me he's even acknowledging this, because for so long, he never brought us up, WATP, me. We talked about him a ton, and I was booked on shows like the Anthony Cumia show because we talked about Opie, and he did a great job of ignoring it, pretending it didn't exist, and just doing his show. Well, that has all changed.
So now that he's going to give his opinion, I assume it's because he's been immersing himself, watching all of it, and has formed a very strong opinion.
Oh, yeah. He knows everything there is to know about the Dabbleverse.
I mean, my suggestion, considering I did have a massive radio career, I've said this to, well, I'm not going to tell you who I said this to. I dipped my toes in the Dabbleverse for a little bit, and then I realized that it's not for me. I don't want to spend my days turning on a live stream and just attacking other live streamers. I mean, I could do it from time to time. I'm good at it.
You serious?
Opie thinks he's good at this. Now, I am going to prove to you, the reason why I played that clip first is because he tries. And I'm going to prove to you he's not good at it. He has no idea what he's doing, and he doesn't understand what the Dabbleverse is at all. He's not understanding what it is we do here. And it's funny when you hear guys like Gino Bisconti's another guy who, when he describes the Dabbleverse, he's like, oh, yeah, you just go after everyone, just shit on everyone, and you just fucking mean to everyone. And no, we actually get together with our friends and laugh. To me, and everyone has a different perspective on things, but Adam, I think you and I would agree that when we're going to step into the Dabbleverse on WATP, or maybe we're doing this little piggy together or Point Dabble Point, I look forward to it because I'm going to laugh with my friends. And we're going to have a good time. And it's not about a malicious thing. We're not trying to ruin people's lives or hurt their careers. It's just the opposite. We want Stuttering John to go forever. We want Opie to keep broadcasting every morning.
And we spend a good deal of our time acting as like a NASCAR pit crew for these shows, telling them everything they need as quickly as possible to improve their show. And they take a lot of the advice from all of these haters.
They do. And Opie also has advice that he's doling out to people.
And I told this guy, I'm like, dude, you're really, really talented. I said, look, I get why you're in the Dabbleverse. I get why you're doing that, but I said don't blow off just doing a regular show. You're really good at this. And I mean, he's sort of doing both, I guess.
Now, there's speculation on who Opie is talking about here. He's saying there's a guy in the Dabbleverse who I reached out to, I had a heart-to-heart with him, saying he's too good for the Dabbleverse. He needs to get out. He's giving advice to young streamers, which is great. Who do you think he's talking about here?
I really want it to be OJ.
Okay.
It's not, but I want it to be.
It's Cardiff.
Oh.
I think it's Cardiff. And I sent a note to Cardiff and Tukey today, and I said, who is Opie talking about? And Cardiff didn't think it was him, but then as we were digging into the conversations he's had with Opie, it does sound like it was him. Because Opie has had these conversations with Cardiff that he's talented and he shouldn't be doing this kind of thing. And he does know that Cardiff does the Reddit show subreddit surfing with Vinnie Paulino. And actually, I guess there's been talk of Opie going on that show. So that would make sense that Opie'd go, well, there's a guy who's really talented. I told him not to be in the Dabbleverse, but, you know, he's not always in the Dabbleverse. He does other things too.
Yeah, that would be Cardiff.
I think he's talking about Cardiff. Now, Rocco was speculating that it could be Chad Sumac.
No.
Which I was like, well, let's think. This guy thought Ron the Waiter and Vic Henley were good, so...
But what is
I don't
Chad's
think so.
non-Dabbleverse stuff?
I know.
But so he doesn't recognize that his show he did with Cardiff and Rocco was his best show in years? He recognizes their talent, but not that he shines with them. By the way, this is what Jim said to him in the tape you just reviewed with Blind Mike. He said, I don't think you understand what your role is. And by the way, if you're in a band or you're in a group of people and one of your partners says that, you fucking listen.
Yes.
You want to hear it and adapt because you believe in them and think they're talented.
Right. The rhythm guitarist who sings some harmonies on some choruses and stuff, does he want to be the lead singer? Probably. Does he want to be the lead guitarist? Maybe. But does he realize that the band is great with the role that he plays and enjoys that? Like that, you have to have that mindset. And that's what Norton was trying to say to Opie on that bonus show that we just did, where he's going, yeah, the show has shifted and evolved. And it's turned into me and Anthony and what other comics in here all cracking wise, and people love it. People are enjoying it. And you're a part of that show, Opie. You're the one who drives the show. You keep it going. And Opie went, no, it surpassed me. It's not my show anymore. It's like, you idiots. You just got to understand what your role is and appreciate it when you're on a winning team.
He said, I invented this show in 94, which
He
was
did.
the year
He did
met.
say that.
And Jim said, of course you did. I
was
know
very
you
generous.
did. I tell everyone that you did. Now, can you please just meet me here in this one point? And Opie said, fuck you. I have a feeling, and I don't like it.
That was very generous of Jim to respond immediately with, yes, Opie, this was all your idea. You're the brains behind the whole operation. You got it. All right, now, Patrick Melton's been taking some shots. He's been watching some clips, making some points about the Opster. And because Opie is ruled by the chat are his program directors now. So he has to respond to that. So he talks about Patrick Melton.
All right. Sheriff Dabbler, I'd like to hear your response to Patrick Melton discrediting your career, saying you accidentally fell into a radio. All right. Yeah. All right. I don't respond to any of those people. They've literally done nothing. They've literally done nothing with their own careers, and they're attacking me. I do know this Melton guy. He looks like Earthquake. I like to call him Tugboat. I've never heard a minute of his show.
This is the problem with Opie and the way that he's responding to all of this. It's going to be never ending for him because he's calling Patrick Melton out. He doesn't have a career. He's never done anything. And we're going to hear more of that with everyone that he is addressing. Then he calls him out for being fat, but he's never heard the show. So I know that Patrick Melton's very successful. I know that he's getting the startup going with Moody, who's one of the most brilliant people I've ever met. And they're doing things that are beyond what most people in the Dabbleverse are doing. They're creating something. They're building a brand. I don't know if Melton's done that before in the past. I really don't know a lot about his career. I wouldn't assume he hasn't had a good career because Patrick Melton's a very smart guy. Like putting on Hackamania, you have to have your shit together to do what he's doing. He just announced they're going to be live streaming it again this year. So he's putting together the whole live stream of this live show that he organizes and does all the work to bring all these podcasts together and do this event. Opie can do that. There's no way. Opie can't make a thumbnail. Opie is, and so the fact that he's like calling out people's career, like you don't know what their career is. This is a Stuttering John parallel again, where it's just like, well, they don't have a career. Their career sucks.
The same Stuttering John parallel, how he goes, who the fuck are they to criticize me? I don't know them.
Right.
I don't understand why that's a prerequisite to make fun of the show you're putting on. I'm allowed to review your show even if I don't know you personally. Did you know that? You've done it your entire career. all you're showing us right now, unfortunately, is that you have not processed that you're still not on the Opie and Anthony show, because you're shitting on these people that are putting on festivals and having careers. And maybe you're right. Maybe it doesn't compare to the success you had in the 90s, but what you're doing now doesn't compare to the success you had in the 90s. It would really benefit you to spend some time focusing on why these people are working and why you're not.
The other part of this super chat from Sheriff Dabbler that he didn't get to. Also, Adam Busch on WTP, who you never did anything to, likes
That's
to
the
pile
thing.
on.
Right.
And Sheriff Dabbler knows what he's doing here. Like, because guys like Opie feel like, I don't even know that guy. I've never even talked about him. What's he doing? You know, it's just like, it has nothing to do with anything. It's neither here nor there.
But when
Obviously.
he hangs up on an actress that he's interviewing,
yep,
you know, even though he doesn't know her, he's allowed to do it because it's funny when he does it.
Oh, there is so much hypocrisy. I got to get a T-shirt that talks about some type of authority about hypocrisy and wear it on the show, because I just came up with that idea. No one's ever thought of that before. Because Opie is a hypocrite, and especially when he talks about me, I'm going to address what he says about me on here. It's like all the shit that he did is his complaints about me, which is incredible. But let's get back into some more career talk.
And out of nowhere, because I think what happens is these guys don't have a lot of material. So the easiest thing to do is attack somebody. So he's attacking me. I did nothing to the guy. I don't know the guy. I've never watched his shit. And they're attacking me in my stupid career. And the fact is, like, what career do you have?
All right. Now, for Opie to say, well, he doesn't have any material. Patrick Melton goes on for 5-6 hours straight on a live stream by himself, and there's never a lull. It just goes. I didn't say never a lull. It's never a lull. Just in case people are taking that out of context. So the idea that Opie's just, yeah, these guys have nothing to talk about. No. You are the content. Whether you like it or not, you're interesting. People are interested in you. People want to talk about you. If Patrick went out and talked about a football team, you wouldn't say he's got no content. All he talks about is the Las Vegas Raiders. No, that is content. That's what people want to talk about. So this whole notion that's just like, oh, you're just shitting on people because you have nothing else to do, that's dead in the water to me. That's not a starting place for an argument.
Patrick Melton was ranting about Aaron the other night, and I was trying to fuck with him a little bit, so I sent him a kind of distracting super chat. And he read it and moved from it so quickly. Do you know why, Opie? Because he was in the middle of saying something.
Right.
And he didn't want to be interrupted. When you have something to say, it's almost impossible to derail someone's show.
Isn't that funny that Opie is the guy who has no prep, goes on the show, reads the chat, gets annoyed by the chat, yells at the chat, and complains about other people not having content or things to talk about?
Rob Saul, if you don't want to be accused of having inappropriate relationships with dogs, stop having them on your lap while you broadcast.
Take a break
Opie,
from that.
if you truly don't want to talk about Anthony, don't put up the super chat. And don't tell me that this rich, successful person that wouldn't, dare to do Cardiff's live stream doesn't need the $2. Which one is it? For $2, You're talking about this thing you've put a hard line about that you don't want to talk about, but suddenly it's all up for grabs.
The other thing, too, about him complaining about these guys have nothing to talk about, so they have to bring up Opie. I was watching some of his Unleashed stuff where he just walks around. He talks to strangers on the street in Manhattan. I would much rather watch someone with prepared material commenting about other podcasters and showing clips and analyzing it than watch a guy walk up to people whose English is not their first language and scream at them and harass them. And none of them enjoy it. No one's going like, oh, am I on the Opie show? This is great. They're all just like, what? What do you want? What are we talking about?
I would like to hear Opie talking about Anthony. I'd like to hear his Monday morning wrap-up of Anthony's Sunday show.
He said he might do that on MLC. He won't.
I hope he does, because he keeps talking about how easy it is. Tom Myers is talking about how easy it is. Well, show us. Please. It's been years. Show us how easy anger is.
And I'm not saying that this isn't easy. What I do, this format that we've picked for Who Are These Podcasts, is certainly, as Patrick Melton calls it, a cheat code. It is very easy to find people who suck at this, play clips, and laugh at them. But it's amazing that Opie can't do it, Tom Myers can't do it, Chad can't do it. Like, it is a skill. Kevin Brennan can't do it.
You're leaving out the crucial part that, unfortunately, is their tragic flaw. You have to be passionate about it still. You have to somehow relate or care or be self-aware enough to find some common ground and feel something. But every time this guy has any kind of feeling at all, it's all or nothing. All of these guys are that way. Chad, even Donkeylips, Aaron, John, you can say anything about anybody, but when it's about them, everything changes.
And it's time for Opie to start big timing some people here.
For real, what do you have to show for it? You're not going to buy a second house. You're going to like be struggling with your bills. You're not going to do anything impressive. And these people, they attack people like myself that actually had a career.
All right, do me a favor. Nobody tell Opie about my second house, because that'll kind of crush this whole argument if you explained that, some of these guys in Dabbleverse do get a second house and are successful.
Well, when he hears where it is, he'll feel better.
That's true. Yeah, it's fuck off. All right, this is so Opie's big timing everyone. He's got the better career. He's got more going on. Again, he doesn't know anything. That's the problem with going after people you know nothing about. Like you said, he's not passionate about it. He's not interested in it. So he doesn't know that Patrick Melton has his own business, that he's startup that is already growing and has investors. And he doesn't know that I have a second house. And
always so shocked. And it's like that thing about basic human people that the cop was trying to teach John on that stop, which was maybe just treat people like you give a shit. Maybe just assume they have something to offer, even if you don't see it at first, even if they're wearing a filter. Maybe just treat people the way you would want to be treated. You keep talking about this respect that you've earned, that you deserve. However, you accidentally referred to it in the past tense in that last little rant. And I don't know if you noticed that. You said you had a career. That's right. You did. You had one. So now it's time for a new one.
And it's not like he was a professional athlete. Professional athletes can't play baseball into their 40s. That's fine. And then they move to the broadcast booth, or they start up a show, or they get on ESPN, or whatever they do. But they have, another career after that. But they have an excuse. Radio people can be on the radio. Rich Limbaugh died on the radio. There's a lot of people who never leave that chair. It's very possible to do.
Howard Stern might have. We don't know.
If that's a good point. It could be. We could be listening to AI. Could you imagine if AI Howard is actually going to Chat GPT to write AI scripts, and then AI Howard is right? That actually makes a lot of sense now.
It's a more plausible explanation than what's happening right now.
I think that's what's happening.
And you did point out, which I forget with Opie, is that I'm wondering, how dare he try and come off as mysterious? How dare he ask Jim to just reveal every single part of his sexuality? But then when you ask him what his favorite song is, he's like, I don't know you well enough. He thinks he's Howard. He thinks he's moody and mysterious. He thinks he's we're trying to figure him out. Your name is Opie. It's an accessible name. It's not this CEO who's, tortured. You're not that guy.
No. So this is right out of his playbook. We already touched on this a little bit.
But it is weird. It's people I've never met that I don't watch their stuff. I don't care about their stuff. And they have to attack me. I find it incredibly strange.
Now, this was actually brought up during the Jim Norton versus Opie fight that we covered on the bonus show yesterday, because Opie's making this point, they never even met me and they're ripping on me. And Opie brought up to Jim Norton, Gavin McInnes. He goes, Anthony, he just gets everyone against me. I've never even met Gavin McInnes, and he's talking shit about me. And Jim goes, well, what's he talking about? Your content or your personal life, or you personally? And Opie goes, well, he's talking about my content. He's like, well, Gavin can do that. Why wouldn't he? Gavin has every right to talk about you. If we're not prying into where his kids go to school, we're talking about the show that he puts on and making fun of that. Opie has this thing where it's you've never even met me. How can you comment on me? You're a public figure. That's exactly how that works.
And I know I'm probably reaching here, but it's just funny that both Opie and John claim to be these, totally tolerant, of all races and religions and woke kind of people, but they preach that there are evil Jews working behind the scenes, convincing people to not hire them, to not like them, and literally to not laugh at them in the chat. Anything that's bad that comes to any of them is because of these secret people, and he names them. You can't do that and call other people anti-Semitic. You can't call the mechanic, and make ice jokes and then say other people are intolerant. What do you think that is? What did you just say? Why is it never ever your responsibility? And why am I saying something to you that Jim Norton said how many years ago?
That was 10 years ago. He talked about taking responsibility, and Opie always does this cop-out thing. He goes, look, and I know I have my faults, but it's always, I know this, but it's never anything specific that he does wrong. He just throws out that blanketed, I know I'm not perfect thing, and then immediately talks about how everyone else needs to change. And it's not his fault. Things are happening to him. The other thing he keeps saying in this, and we just heard on that clip, he keeps talking about how strange and weird things are. I've never even met these people. It's so weird. Opie, I learned this from watching you. This is Jotober. You did this bit on your show for years. How do you think this is weird? You're watching other broadcasters who do what you do and calling them out for sucking. It's not weird. It's literally your best bit that you ever did on the Opie and Anthony show, in my opinion.
We talk about how Stuttering John wouldn't handle it if somebody came up to him and asked him a random intrusive question. He'd be like, excuse me, what the fuck? This guy, so when you hung up on that person and everybody laughed, what do you think they were thinking on the other end of the phone? If someone hung up on you now, you'd rant about it for 20 minutes about how rude they were, how disrespectful it was. Why is it always different when it comes to you? These people are changing in very uncomfortable ways.
Yeah, Frank Pellegrino, Chrissy Mayer's husband, was in the chat on this episode and puts in there something like, I don't know why you're mad at Chrissy. She was just fucking around and you're just not playing along. You forgot how to roll with the punches. And of course, Opie, rather than realizing yeah, I should probably just lighten up, is just going, oh, is that what I need to roll with the punch? He never fucking learns. It's
I've been rolling with the punches. You don't roll with.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, so this is funny. So Opie is saying that if it's me or Melton or whoever, Adam Busch, calling Opie out, he doesn't care because we're nobodies with no career. But it's not like we're the big guys.
If Howard Stern's attacking me, damn. If Joe Rogan's attacking me, damn. Bill Burr, damn. I was in that arena with all those people. Will I ever be in that arena again? I don't think so, to be honest with you. I do this. I have fun doing it. I like doing it.
Now, I have to tell you, Opie, you're saying if Bill Burr talks shit about you or Joe Rogan, you'd be upset about that? Oh, it's worse than that. They don't think about you. Howard Stern doesn't give a thought to Greg Opie Hughes from the Opie and Anthony show. Everyone has moved on. And I think it's funny that he's just man, if I heard something like Bill Burr said about me, Bill Burr hasn't given a thought about you in years.
The disconnect right there was insane. And the fact that he thinks we don't see it is delusional. He just said he's not in the arena anymore. So why would they be talking about you? And if you're not in that arena, Opie, where are you?
Yeah, right.
Say hello to Cardiff and Tukey and OJ.
Welcome to the
get to know them.
Dabbleverse.
Welcome to the Dabbleverse.
That's who's in your chat right now, giving you $20 and $10 at a time. So welcome. Hope you enjoy your time here. But no, none of us are having any type of effect on Opie.
None of those guys have done anything impressive to the point where their shots at me hurt. If you want to know the truth.
If you want to know the truth, it's such a tell from Opie. And this goes back 10 years, probably longer than that. But it's just fresh in my mind because we did the bonus show yesterday. But Opie's got some tells. If you want to know the truth, is one of the best ones. He tags that on to sentences when I know that he knows that it's not the truth. Because that's what liars say. Liars say things like, I'm not even lying right now. Well, no one said you were. All right. This is great. So a chatter says that I used to work with Opie at WCMF here in Rochester. 96.5, the home of rock and roll. Opie, of course, that's where he met Brother Weeze, and it really gave him his direction in radio and his career. And so this gets brought up.
Did you know that Carl worked in the mailroom for Brother Weeze when you were there? He said that he really looked up to you, but you would never make eye contact. I have no idea. I have no idea. What? These people are so weird.
All right. Again, with the weird stuff, these people are so weird. I think he's, and I'll play some more clips. Help me out. I think he's referring to me specifically because he's believing this chat that I have like this vendetta against him because I used to work with him at CMF and he wouldn't give me the time of day. I think that's what he's saying. I could be wrong about that. But what's great about this, there's a few things that are great about this. This is a free chat that he pulled up and decided to read. So they're saying like there's a reason why Carl from Rochester goes after Opie. You guys used to work together and you weren't cool to him. Now, Opie was 23 when he worked at WCMF, I'm guessing, somewhere around there. I was 9 when Opie was 23. I most certainly was not working at a radio station. And also, I think it was my buddy Drew Lane who pointed out, radio stations don't have mailroom employees. There isn't someone dedicated to the mailroom. That's not a full-time job. You know what I mean? Like you'd have people who handled that. Maybe they also work in HR. Or I don't know.
You're not rolling with a shopping cart, throwing mail at everybody's
right.
desk.
So the 1980s. It's not like Big with Tom Hanks from the 80s. Like that kind of company that we're working for here.
The Howard Stern show had John sorting the mail. So
right.
I assume.
Yeah. So Brother Weeze probably didn't have a guy dedicated.
Again, if you're his enemy and he hates you and you're ragging on him and he wants you to go away and somebody's like, you both have the same mentor. He's from Rochester. There's a connection. Instead of being like, there is? What if I could fucking have this guy on and we could talk about just our connection? Maybe I could make friends. He doesn't want that. He didn't want to be friends with Jim. Doesn't want to be friends with any of these people. Doesn't want to. I don't know what he wants. I don't know why he's doing the show.
Insecurity. That is the theme of this whole thing. Opie is so insecure, and he knows it. That's why he'll never admit he's ever watched me. He'll never admit he's ever watched Patrick Melton. He's so insecure he would never talk to me. He would never have me on his show. He'd never come on this show because he knows he sucks.
But that's
he's
how
insecure
you know
about it.
Not to believe in a politician when they say, "Do not vote for this bill. It is evil. I did not read it." And I don't want to.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to get a
right.
second opinion maybe.
Yeah.
I mean.
My people told me, and I believe them. So, yeah, I think he's referring to me here.
When I worked at the same station as Brother Weeze, I was a plebe. I wouldn't make eye contact. These people are delusional.
Yeah, so I think he's believing what this chatter is saying and saying I'm delusional for thinking that Opie was big timing me at CMF. That's how I'm interpreting this. I could be wrong. But then he goes on to explain why I am garbage. And I have a lot of thoughts about this.
One big reason why I don't respect Carl, and I truly don't. I don't watch or listen to any of his stuff, but I get the drift. Trust me. When I see the videos pop up and I decide not to click on them, I get the drift. And the one thing,
I'm sorry, that's so funny right there. We watched a little bit of this on the bonus show yesterday because it had just come out, and I watched it fresh on the show. But that is so telling right there. If you're wondering if WTP is in Opie's algorithm, it most certainly is. And so he's getting the drift by reading the thumbnail. So he knows what my show is because he reads the thumbnail. I'm not buying that. I bet he's curious and clicks.
No, I don't trust people who only read the headlines. That's not an informed reader.
That's not an informed reader, but okay.
The one thing that makes him insanely bad at this and insanely dishonest is that he doesn't take any shots at Anthony whatsoever. That's why you're a piece of garbage. The amount of material, if your whole show is to go after other people trying to do this, the amount of material that you have on Anthony and you avoid all of it, that means you're garbage. Absolute garbage.
All right. Can I respond?
Please.
Opie says I'm garbage because I haven't done an episode about the Anthony Cumia show, a show that I A, enjoy, and B, am friends with the host of. I'm trying to remember the time that they did a Jotober on Brother Weeze. I'm trying to remember the time that Opie was clowning Weeze's morning show and why it sucked. Oh, wait, Opie never did that because Opie liked Brother Weeze, both personally and professionally, and enjoyed his show, and therefore never made fun of it on his show. So he's saying that I'm garbage, and he has no respect for me for doing the exact same thing that Opie did when he was on top of the world doing Jotober. And he had to find an angle. Why do I not like Carl? I've never listened to him. I've never seen him. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what his show format is. Well, he knows what the show format is, but he has to pretend he doesn't know anything about it. But he also has to hate me, and he has to have a good reason for it. And the good reason is I've never made fun of Anthony Cumia. I've never made fun of Tim Dillon. I've never made fun of No Agenda, Adam Curry and John C. Dvorak. I love that show. I listen to every episode. I don't make fun of Drew Lane's show. I'm friends with Drew. I like his show. I listen to every episode. I don't have to make fun of everything. There's things that I enjoy that I don't make fun of. Why would I?
There's also a key thing here that I think Opie is missing, because whether you have or not, I know I have and others have certainly taken shots or just made jokes or made Anthony the butt of certain things when it comes to the tropes that he's related to. Even last night when we were talking about John, things would come up, and the only difference is he laughs and moves on. He doesn't do an emergency show about, taking down every point that was made. He just laughs and moves on. But when people laugh and move on about you, just like John, it's a betrayal.
Yeah.
And you have to rebut it.
Anthony rolls with everything. I was watching you guys last night when I got home from rehearsal, and there's super chats coming in that are bringing stuff up, and Anthony didn't bail and get pissed off that people are pulling up super chats. He laughs it off and he moves on because he's confident. He's not insecure. Opie is insecure.
I've made it clear to Anthony that we don't share so many points of view and that I disagree with him on so many things, and he's, as far as I can tell, excited by it. He's not threatened by it. He's not like, oh, you did that show? Then we can't ever be on the same show because you were friends with my ex. And that's still what you're doing, Opie. You haven't gotten over the breakup.
Yeah. I mean, Anthony literally reached out to me and said, I want to do a show with Adam Busch. He respects what you do. He enjoys what you do. And it's like, both can be true.
At the end of the day, imagine if somebody learned something or actually changed their point of view, Opie. Could you fucking imagine?
By the way, Opie's protege is here. Cardiff Electric in the building. What's up, Cardiff? Uh-oh, you're muted, my friend. I can't hear you.
He's being groomed by Opie.
He is. Oh, now there's no audio.
He doesn't want you talking to us. You got to look
Opie
good to your friend now.
This right now?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Keep working on it over there. I got another clip. This is how to be successful in the Dabbleverse. And I can't think of someone more fitting to let us know how to be successful than one Greg Opie Hughes.
Oh, how does one go about being successful in the Dabbleverse? Well, you get a live stream and you make it look very, very professional. And that will hide the fact that you don't have much content. And then you just go down a laundry list of other people live streaming and you find shit about them and beat the crap out of them. That's it. That's the Dabbleverse.
Opie has no clue what he's talking about. He literally thinks that it's all about prying into people's. I mean, this is obviously the Kevin Brennan, Chad Zumach way to do it. Well, not all that successful. He literally thinks it's just you find out dirt about people and then you go on and you spill that and you say what an awful person they are. It's like, no. The successful shows, and we could all name them, in the Dabbleverse, find clips of shows, play them, and then do a great job of analyzing it, riffing on it, making jokes about it. That's what the Dabbleverse is. Opie can't understand that at all.
Testing.
Hey, Cardiff. What's up, buddy?
Oh, okay, good. Hello, Adam Busch. Hello, Carl.
Hello, Cardiff.
Good to see you, man. I'm surprised you're on during this segment.
Well, I didn't think you'd bring me on so quickly.
Okay, well, I didn't.
I wanted to
know.
laugh from the backstage here.
All right, I can take you off if you want. If
No,
I make you more
I'll be
comfortable.
the Opie point.
Okay,
if
good.
you don't want your sensei to see you hanging out with us, we understand.
And definitely don't watch Opie this Friday morning for the return of Tukey and Cardiff I don't want all these 1,000 people that are watching right now, Carl, to be there Friday morning when Cardiff and Tukey return to Opie in the Morning.
Holy shit. Is that confirmed?
It's confirmed. That's
Wow.
a fact, Jack.
Wow. Breaking news right here on WATP. This is exciting. Wow. This is very exciting. Congratulations, Cardiff, getting back on with Opie. Because he's all in on the Dabbleverse now. Like, I can't even believe how long has this been going on that he even acknowledges the Dabbleverse? For the longest time, Opie wouldn't acknowledge anyone's existence. And now it's like the main content on his show. It's crazy. I love it.
This Friday will be all sports talk.
Good. Yeah, as it should be. So you just heard right there Opie explaining how to be successful. You have to go after people really hard in the paint and show no mercy. And so he goes on to talk about how the Dabbleverse came to be.
And and the funny thing is, the whole concept is based on one of our huge benchmark bits from the Opie and Anthony show, and that would be Jotober. They're all just doing Jotober,
right?
And even when we were doing Opie and Anthony, we knew that Jotober was a benchmark bit, but you couldn't do it like all year long. By the end of October, we were running out of steam as far as that bit went.
Well, it sounds like a you problem.
It's not true. I wanted Jotober all year long.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
And also, I do 2 days a week.
Yeah.
The WTP is twice a week. It's not a 5-day-a-week show where that's all we're doing is the same shit over and over again. We lost Adam now.
Finally. Just the boys.
now we got the crew here. So it's so funny that Opie knows that the Dabbleverse exists because of Jotober, because I've talked about that was my inspiration for starting Who Are These Podcasts. But for some reason, we're doing it wrong. When he did it the right way. And now all of these shows in the Dabbleverse do it the wrong way. I've talked about it before. Opie will say, well, you got to sprinkle in other bits and do other stuff. It's like, yeah, okay. But he gets locked in on what percentage of the time we're talking about other podcasts or doing other things. Like, yeah, I don't talk about intervention from last night. Sorry. I just don't have that segment on the show.
My 600-pound life. That'd be some good talking.
I would do that, actually.
I'm in. I'll do that show with you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. My wife watches every episode and I just find myself going, what is going on over here? What the fuck?
Why do they take their shoes off every time they get on the scale?
It doesn't matter. The pound and a half, it's not going to matter. All right. So yeah, Opie understands that it is Jotober, but it's still wrong, and he still doesn't like it, even though this was his brainchild. He takes credit for Jotober, but doesn't like the Dabbleverse for some reason. So then we get into Chrissy Mayer talk, because this gets brought up in his chat. And again, Chrissy Mayer is the same as all of us. He doesn't know anything about her, but knows he doesn't like her and knows why.
All I know, Frank, about your wife is that out of nowhere, she started taking dumb shots at me because she worked for Anthony. I don't respect that, if you want to know the truth. I've never met her. I don't know anything about her. I know she's trying to be a comedian, but when I look at comedians that are doing it out there, her name doesn't pop up on any of the lists.
Oh, I didn't see that. Where is that list? Does Blind Mike curate that list of comedians that are doing it out there?
I believe he does. He's who I would go to for that list, Carl.
Right. I'm not familiar with that. So Opie acts like he's got his finger on the pulse when also being oblivious to everything. He's like, I've never seen Chrissy Mayer. I don't know what she does. I don't know what's going on. Chrissy Mayer was just on the West Coast. You might have seen her on the Adam Carolla show. She was also with Jamie Kennedy on I Hate to Break It to You.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of funny. But this whole thing, I don't respect that if you want to know the truth. He doesn't even know what he's saying. He's just saying he doesn't like people who clown him, and he's got to make up excuses for her. No one even knows who she is as a comic. Like, she's doing much better than you at all of this, Opie. It's not even debatable. He even brings up at some point, he's like, does all she do is talk about my show? It's like, no. She does Simpcast on Sundays. She does her interview shows. She gets on with Keanu and they look at fashion on the streets of London. Like, there's a lot of things going on here, but Opie doesn't do any research and just bashes. It just goes. And this is the opposite of what the Dabbleverse should be, by the way. It's just blindly going after people you know nothing about. It's not sustainable.
Sounds fun though.
I know it is fun, but you're not going to grow an audience with that because the audience just goes, "Wait, is that what's going on?" And then they turn it over and they go, "Oh, that person's full of shit. Well, I'll stop listening to them."
Well, the Dabbleverse is very much in the present, looking at the past and looking at the present. And these people are just stuck in the past. And he keeps using the words has a career or had a career. You know, when you're trying to make your right point, you had a career. But when you're comparing yourself to Chrissy Mayer, suddenly you have a career. You had one. You're comparing what you used to have with what somebody now has. And now you have nothing. And somebody with something has more. I don't know why that's so hard for you to understand, Opie.
All right,
I
here's
don't know why I feel like snapping my fingers after Adam speaks something.
Yeah, he's got a good cadence to it. Here's one more clip I have on here. The question comes in: how do you feel about everybody passing you by? And so, rather than Opie acknowledge that his career is not going well, he has to bring everyone else down. This is the proverbial crab in the bucket response to this.
Do you feel embarrassed that your peers passed you by? No one has really done anything that great since Opie and Anthony Grant. I mean, that's the reality. You know, Anthony is now on WABC on Sunday nights, one day away. That's not impressive. You know, Jim Norton should be way bigger than he is. What he's doing isn't impressive either. There's nothing impressive about it. You want to talk about peers passing you by? Every single comedian has passed Jim Norton by that did the Opie and Anthony show. I say every single one of them has a bigger career than Jim Norton. See, this is the real stuff. This is the honest stuff. Sam Roberts, not impressive. Just rotting in a seat at Sirius XM. Is he doing better than I am? Oh, yes, he is. Is it impressive? Oh, no, it's not.
The question was, are you embarrassed by all of your peers passing you by? And he goes, what are you talking about? And then he goes on to list how every single person has passed him by and has a better career than him, but then tries to say it's not impressive. I set up this entire segment by playing the clip where Opie goes, anyone can do this. I'm very good at this type of thing that people do in the Dabbleverse. This is the opposite of good. He
also shaved a few of Sam Roberts' credits off there. He just kind of do a lot of stuff for the WWE. Yeah,
for sure. It's ridiculous that he's acting like Sam is not doing anything. Sam has the job that Opie wants on the morning show host on Sirius XM. But also just this idea that he thinks he's good at clowning people or goofing on people, like what the Dabbleverse is. And his only thing is to say, like, it's not impressive. Nobody cares. That's not a good show. That's not a good show format. No one's tuning in for you to just say Jim Norton's not as good of a comic or is not as big of a comic as Bill Burr. Okay. Great. Good stuff, Opie. You win again. Got him. Adam is having technical problems, it seems like. Oh, I think he's popping back up. Adam, you all right?
I blame the potato.
Seriously.
I think him and Opie are working against me somehow.
There's been a lot of problems ever since the potato showed up.
I noticed that.
I have one more clip, actually. I lied because you wanted to watch this one, Adam, that cropped up on a subreddit.
It's my favorite. It's the best Opie clip I've ever seen. Just as an actor, if you were asked to make this turn from like absolute elation to total despair, you'd be like, wow, this is tough for any human being to go through. And he does it so effortlessly. It's so enjoyable.
This is live at Gebhard's.
God. I like that. Let's end with that.
Yeehaw! America! Fuck yeah! Suck on my balls!
Make America Opie again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Make America Opie. We need a hat. We need that hat.
We need a hat.
Make America. Wait, so it's Nago?
Make America be
Is it
again.
Nago?
No, it's
Make America.
Mago. No, it's Maho.
No, make America.
Maho back. It's Maho. It's Maho.
No, Mope.
I'm not. No, it's not Mope.
No, the P is in the middle of.
Oh my God, I gotta go. Hit the like. Wait, no one quit. Wait, no one hit the like.
What, nobody likes us?
Last one.
They don't
last
like you.
one we
That's
ever
the
do.
problem.
This is the last one we ever do.
Bye.
That's it.
At least America loves Opie.
Yeah, we should end it with that. All right, bye. Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm taking over the world, baby. 2025 is the year of the Opster. Let's go. Oh, no one likes this?
We're done.
All right.
Pack it in. Pack it up.
That's
We're all
enough.
going home. That's it.
He's in a basement Takes longer for the likes to get downstairs.
Oh, that's probably true. And that's why Cardiff will be on Opie Radio Friday morning.
And
Tune in. And Tukey. That's very exciting. You guys aren't bringing Corn Diff, the guy who brought you to the dance? You're not bringing him
Fuck
with?
Corn Diff.
Wow, you heard it here, folks.
Yeah, you heard it here first. The
Fuck
beef has begun.
Corn Diff. I actually have, this is a fun little clip from Opie and Anthony back in the day. Evan Harris sent this in. This is Opie predicting what would happen in the future. And of course, what he's talking about here is, let's just end this show. We've done enough. And I think it's time to end Opie and Anthony, a common thing that he would bring up on the show.
In the next 2 years.
I'm hoping they hire me by September.
2 more years, and then we do other things.
I don't want to do that thing. I can
And
do
we'll do
both.
his political talk, and I'll start spinning
That's what I
twofers
figured
again.
I'll do.
I'm going to spin twofers again. You do the political talk.
I'll do political talk with a twist.
We
right.
really have to put an end to this. I say 2 more.
That's it.
2 more. Yes, before I'm 40.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
You are?
No, I'm 27.
Good stuff. So, yeah.
Out of the 80s.
He predicted, yes, he always had to pretend he was younger than he was. So he did predict, you just heard it, that once they left Opie and Anthony would go on to do political talk. And that was correct. Nailed it.
Did he say that he was going to spin twofers? Twofers, yeah.
Yeah.
That's his skill? That's his talent?
I don't think it pays the bills these days. Maybe it'll be a 4-play weekend.
Isn't that
where
the radio
fourth song
equivalent
is
of-
always live?
It's like waiting tables. Is that what he's doing?
Yes, correct. We have a game coming up. We have Annie, our review girl, coming up in just a moment. But first, I want to thank people supporting the show on superchip.gg/WATP, like Whatnot Chaser.
Fuck Jim and fuck you, Lady K. I invented a show based around Anthony being funny and me doing nothing, and it was a great success.
Good point. Very good point. Douglas Nelson coming in.
The reason people don't see how brilliant and talented I am is because they're just stupid.
Yeah, whatever. Why not accept one of those radio gigs you've said you've been offered and do a show like Anthony? You know, for a goof, and see what happens?
I already did radio, and I did it first.
Speaking of radio, be sure to get the 77 WABC app and tune into the Anthony Cumia show. It's now 3 hours and never whines about past glories. It's just good fun.
Love it. Good promo. Thank you. Ricky Bev coming in.
Okay, Adam, you and Carla think I can't take responsibility. Okay, sure, maybe they all just suck. Go Scaro. Cape Coral isn't a real second home, doggy, rotten in that chair,
I like that someone tried to write it in a way that AI would pick up on Opie's ridiculous voices. Good try.
It did
It
not.
didn't,
Opie
but
Kennedy.
I liked the attempt on that. Very fun stuff. Dang Lizard using super tip.
I know I'm not perfect. I'm a stuttering half Puerto Rican with smelly feet. Brother man, doggy.
Brilliant. Summed it up perfectly. Your mom's box.
Opie blocked me today. He tweeted, "Nobody wants to live on Mars." I simply stated that he wouldn't have a syndicated radio show there either.
Very funny. Well done. Silence Do Good coming in.
Ill intent.
Thanks, Opie. But the question was, do you feel embarrassed that they passed you up? Correct. He changed the question on that. Sam Roberts is a loser. Like, well, no. But are you embarrassed that Sam Roberts has a way better career in broadcasting than you? That's the question. All right, help me out with these, Adam.
Steve C. Hey, Carl. Hey, 90s Shelby Woo star. You're gay. Great show, by the way, Steve C. Stewie felt Orson Welles had a massive radio career, too. And he had a gonk. Stewie felt he talked to Mike Morse, didn't
What's
he?
a gonk?
It's a sound. It's a gonk. It's a
Is Mrs.
goddamn
Underwood
sound.
here? No, what was the woman's name? Something like that.
I don't remember the line. That's all the line. It's the only line I remember. It's a
Jacob
gonk.
Bryan, Adam, would you go on BYB or Ski Mask's show? Yes, I watch BYB sometimes. I'll chat in there. They don't seem to want to hear from me, but I would always go on and hear what they have to say about their time with Stuttering John.
Who's on that show these days? Is Little Lemmy still on that show?
I know it's Quadfather, right?
Yeah, I know Quadfather's the host.
I think there's a Shepardini on there.
Okay. Well, we're going to see Quadfather in Vegas at Hackamania.com. That's exciting.
That is exciting.
I'm going to go to the second floor so I don't have to hang out with him.
Laziest man on Mars, trimmed beard is not a chin line, Donkeylips.
Elevators, Carl.
They do have them, yeah. Nalax44, why is Opie's mouth red? It can only be wine. We know it's wine because of how he reacted when we brought that up.
He was pissed. Yes. Cheers, indeed.
Mr. Blue Sky with $100. I want to get my hands on Jake Hudson AI voice. I want to start a competing channel, but it is Jake doing lectures on astrophysics with ChatGPT. How do I get my hands on it?
That's not a bad idea, actually. I was talking earlier about new voices we should get. Jake Hudson would be pretty funny.
I thought he was in there already.
Oh, maybe he is.
Doesn't
Maybe
Tukey
someone.
have him?
He might. Yeah, he's not on mine, but he might be in there.
I want the visual of whoever sends it is now, recording themselves while running around their house in a
Right.
circle. Lance Belko, love y'all. Ordered Dabble House on Monday. Let's fucking go. Phil Elmore World Order.
That's a name I've not heard for quite some time. But yes, thank you, Lance. DabbleCon.live. We're doing shows this weekend. You're not going to want to miss it. Kate Meanie Tapes Part 2.
Don, you know what? Go screw.
Go screw if you want to know the truth.
Laziest man on Mars. Started loving WATP 5-6 years ago when Ant blew up your spot on the Anthony Cumia show. Antediluvian, Dabbleverse, on to Shuli and Potato. DC1 was awesome. Thanks. Thank you, Laziest man on Mars.
Thanks, Laziest Man on Mars. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
Sean, the producer, Opie claims that he has so much dirt on Anthony and that the gloves are off, but he has never said any of it. Why not, Opie? Because it doesn't exist. The greater good, Opie only knows WATP thumbnails.
Yep.
Story checks out.
Yep. This guy is garbage. I don't like the font he uses.
And
What's
you're right,
with
it's
the bright
similar.
green?
It's similar to John, where they say the things that would scare them. He always does that. He's always like, "I heard your wife is, something," because he was always insecure about that. So if someone said that about his wife, he would freak out. This stuff would freak him out. Just tell Opie, "I got dirt on you," and he'll lose his mind.
Right.
Stewie felt Chrissy does a great Grace Randolph. All right.
Yeah, Chrissy does other things, I think is the point.
Dankenstein, has anyone found out why his wife made him go into the room without the river view? It looks like the laundry room, or maybe it's the wine cellar. We don't have proof that his family is still with us. We cannot
don't.
confirm.
He did tell an anecdote recently that his family all laughed at him when he was wearing his bicycle helmet. But other than that, there's no evidence.
Arcanistop's Therium. Used to think Opie was just a clueless loudmouth, but you all have shown me he's actually just a sociopath. Go screw.
Go screw.
KFT Simpsons did it. It's true. Stewie felt Opie is literally Doyle from Sling Blade.
Look at this super sticker.
Nick from Sweden. Thank you.
27 something or others. Thank you very much. Props on not getting on the Euro.
Bone CK Adam, do you own any of your Buffy action figures? I do. I have some trading cards to collect them, trade them.
Do you have one in reach that you can show us?
No, I not in your basement, Carl. But
Yeah, I was going to say, you always look at that shelf behind you. Let me see. Is it on the shelf? Nope. It's not on the
it's
shelf.
probably on the floor.
How great would it have been if it was right beside him?
Oh, my God. I never would have let him live it
Do
down.
you want to see my clippings?
Here's my diploma.
They are there. He just knows better. He's too smart for you.
Yeah, he caught it last minute. He's like, let's not pretend they're right here.
Go Oscar-Roo. I just want to talk about my dog. Oscar-Roo Anthony, Oscar-Roo Lady K, and Oscar-Roo the potato.
Hey.
No, not the potato.
Co-host on Friday. With Tukey. Opie in the morning.
That's very exciting.
At Opie Radio.
Poor Rocco has to get up so early for that. Can I talk about what Rocco's doing right now? I won't blow up his spot. I won't blow up his spot if I talk about it right now, will I?
What's he doing?
Because it is 2 hours behind.
Yeah, it's like 6:30.
All right, I won't.
Yeah.
I won't. I'll let him do it. It's fine. Hey, what's up, Annie?
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Good to see you. Annie, we
Good
have
to
a
be
game.
here.
We have a game to play. What an exciting show this has been.
Action packed.
I feel like it's easier and better than usual? What's different? Is anyone piecing together
Wednesday.
what's different about this
Thank
show?
you. How dare you? I miss Chris so goddamn much.
Don't let him know I said that. We do miss producer Chris, but we're gonna push.
Yeah,
through
that was the
without him.
chat saying, "Shut up."
Okay, all right, yeah, I'll shut up. Fair enough. Thanks for being here, Bedabbler. See, I knew I didn't. Probably shouldn't say anything.
It's time for everyone's favorite new game show, 2 Minutes with Tom. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? And Adam Busch.
Ah.
Are you ready to find the bomb?
Wait.
Playing 2 Minutes with Tom. You got it.
So now that Bill Cosby's out of prison, I think he's going to get his own TV show. He's going to get his own TV show. I know he is. I can already tell you. I mean, we love giving disgraced people their own TV shows. O.J. Simpson was acquitted of murder, and they gave him his own hidden camera show. The show was called You've Been Juiced. And I think they called it that because...
What did Tom say next? Here are your choices. Number 1, you know who controls the media. B, that was the last thing OJ said to his wife. Next, the network thought You've Been Stabbed was a little too harsh. 4, the Goldman family owns the trademark to Killing It with OJ. And lastly, because clever puns make you forget that he's a murderer. 2 Minutes with Tom.
All right, I have to say, kudos again to Cardiff. That
Well
first
done.
joke, there's no fucking way that Tom came up with that. But I've been wrong
Sometimes
before.
I have to.
I've been wrong before on these, so I always go first. I think that it's going to be. Fuck. I think it's going to be next. You've Been Stabbed was a little too harsh. What do you think, Adam?
You know, what was the one about the network? You said the network said? Where's that?
Yeah, it's next. The network said You've Been Stabbed was a little too harsh.
Oh, okay. Let's go with that was the last thing OJ said to his wife.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that definitely being
It's possible.
the case. What are
You did a really good job, Cardiff. They're all so
people in the chat are saying next, lastly. There's some B's in here. What do you think, Annie?
I think thank you, OJ, and lastly.
Okay.
Thank you for thanking OJ.
O.J. Simpson was acquitted of murder, and they gave him his own hidden camera show. The show was called You've Been Juiced. And I think they called it that because that was the last thing that O.J. said to his wife.
Very good. Who got that, Adam?
I did. I did.
See,
I lose this every time.
Well done, Adam. Congrats.
Think that Opie can enjoy this for what it is. It's heartbreaking.
Well, I don't put this in the thumbnail. I don't
Right.
put the new Cardiff game.
Hey, Nicole, you've been juiced. And I got your juice all over my damn glove.
That's the craziest OJ impression.
So I had to leave it in there.
That's incredible. I love it.
This episode has been brought to you by Hackamania.com. Go to Hackamania.com right now and use promo code COME to save 10% on your tickets. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, COME stands for Cardiff's Ultimate Money Savers. There's some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's COME. Sit, Eugene, sit. Good dog.
Very
Cardiff's
good.
Ultimate Money Savers.
Hacker! Whoa, what am I, a hack?
All right. Fantastic game, Cardiff, as always. Congratulations to Adam.
Thank you. It feels
for
good.
his big victory. What have we done today? We have done it all. So you know what that means? It's time for everyone's favorite part of the show.
The teaser. Next week's teaser.
And you know what I'm teasing today?
What's that?
DabbleCon.live. We are going to be at the Dabble House this weekend. The first show starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Dabble Point. Adam Busch will be there. We'll have the whole crew there breaking down some of the Kate Meanie tapes, and then Who Are These Podcasts Live Friday night at 8. And then we have the Dabbler Film Festival where the winner gets $500. That's happening Sunday at 2. We have the Uncle Rico show, Saturday too. Uncle Rico show Saturday night at 8. After that, we have a wrap-up show with the whole gang. So you're going to want to check that out, dabblecon.live. And that's what I'm teasing today. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Do you have to pay full price if you don't want Mike Morse? Or is it all inclusive? How does that work?
Yeah, I have to pay extra to get Mike Morse out of it, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's serious. I'll just take the regular serious. I don't need the
right.
the Stern show. Just give me
it's
the
extra $5. Noel Harding says, new game show, 17 weeks old. Anyway, I missed the question, damn it. Yeah, you're too busy worried about semantics over here. You weren't paying attention to the game.
The Grateful Dead have been
No,
playing
it's a matter
new
of
Minglewood
perspective.
Blues for the last 30 years, and no one seems to mind.
It's true. Annie, you have any reviews for us to read?
Yeah, I've got 2 for us.
Great.
The first one comes from Ryan Henderson on February 27th saying, the Opie stuff is getting really boring now.
Oh, I disagree, my friend. Is that a 1 star?
No, it's on one of those websites where you have to say 1 or 5 stars, and they didn't do that, so it's a 5-star.
Very good. All right, I'll take it.
The
An
other one
assumed
comes in
5-star.
from Name. Sorry, Cardiff?
I said that's an assumed 5-star. It's not official.
No, it's definitely 5 stars.
Yeah, fuck off, Cardiff.
Assume.
The second one comes in from Name. An awful group of has-beens treating a top-tier celebrity and a podcast host so poorly it should be considered a crime. The only redeeming person associated with this awful podcast is someone named Lucy, who I assumed was Asian for some reason. And the only thing this poor excuse for a human has going for him is he looks okay in a cow bikini.
That's definitely a 5-star review right there.
Again, one of those ones that's on the website with none of those things, but yes, it's a 5-star review. Of course it is.
Okay. What in the fuck? Speaking of Lucy being Asian, did you see our latest review girl, Christine Wynn, on Saturday? Yeah?
Yeah, that was a treat.
Review girl approved. There you go. Well, that's good.
It was her knowledge of the show that won me over. Reno Zima Susan, Cardiff hacked Adam's Google Chrome. Yeah, because he works for Opie now. He can't be trusted.
That's
He's a
true.
double agent.
That's true. We should be wary of this guy. Annie, if people want to check out what you do, they can go to your website.
Yeah, and that's insanity.com. That's INSANNEITY.com. You can check out everything I'm working on, which is nothing right now, and everything I have worked on. So go there for all my links.
Why do you have /support on your URL?
Just in case anyone wants to send me money for my birthday, because that's tomorrow. And I'm trying to scrape together as much money as I can get for Hackamania so I can afford to gamble while I'm out there and not just watch everybody else do it. So if you want to, send me some money on Venmo. That'd be cool.
Awesome. Happy birthday, Annie.
Happy birthday. But you can't afford not to gamble. That's when you need money. That's the best time to gamble. You'll always win when you're desperate for money.
That was quite the pitch.
Man Jack taught me everything I know.
Yes. That's quite the pitch you just had right there.
But
Well
John
done.
could learn that honesty will go a long way. I would not be surprised if people choose to support this venture.
So
I agree.
And do not click on that QR code that Annie has in the top of her screen there. You don't want to see where that takes you.
Oh,
Don't do it.
You have to be a pretty cool guy to try that.
Yeah, only the coolest.
They think they're so cool.
Cardiff, you got enough plugs
thank
in,
you.
or do you need more plugs?
Come
You're
see me on the
back on
Luigi Greenberg
YouTube.
show after this. Yeah, I'm back on YouTube. At YouTube at Cardiff Elect. Go there, subscribe there. But right after this
Fantastic.
show, Luigi Greenberg.
Nice.
Come on over.
It is worth pointing out that with the body cam footage being the darling right now of the Dabbleverse that Cardiff is the one who set it up, got it first, and built the template that everyone has copied on how to best receive these tapes. And Cardiff is the one who pointed out, which I hadn't even put together, that this was the Zoom court appearance that he had to make that Cardiff jumped in on. It was this ticket stop. So when John is a little paranoid that the potato is like watching him at all times, we see where that comes from. In his mind, the guy's everywhere.
And yeah, that's why it did feel like I said on the show, it does feel like a nice bow tied on my relationship with Stuttering John Melendez. Just like the perfect ending to a sitcom. Just that's it.
Yeah,
we
Cardiff,
watched the body cam footage and we go away.
You killed it. You and Tukey watched it. I was tuning in Tuesday night. Great job. Cardiff Elect is the new YouTube channel for Cardiff.
Kitty, hi, Adam. 12 months. What the fuck? Hello, Kitty. I agree.
Thanks for being here for 12 months. We appreciate it. That's the reason why people stick around is because of the great bonus content you get when you're a member of this very channel. We got some voicemails. Who are these.coms where you can find our voicemail number if you want to call into the show and tell us what's going on.
Yeah, I'd like to know what your resident PhD, Dr. Busch, what his psychoanalyzation of one pillow-biting, grifting, lying sack of shit woke dad is. Call me back.
Oh, interesting.
I haven't gotten as deep into that as I should.
Okay.
It seems to me that he's wearing his beliefs as a coat of armor with which you are not allowed to criticize him as a person because of, and I find that to be extremely disingenuous and offensive. Like John, you can hear somebody saying things that you might even agree with politically, but wish that was not the fucking vessel saying it, and they're actually doing more damage than good for the causes they believe in.
That's amazing.
What a mean cup of coffee I hear. Great cup of Joe.
You put out a disclaimer like, I'm not going to have a good opinion on this, and then you nailed it. You didn't need the disclaimer
Well,
at all.
that's the difference
great.
between me and Opie.
That's correct. Correct. Roddy and
Blind Mike better never call in sick to who are these socials.
I know, right?
We'll never
lose
get
his
his spot
job
back.
so fast. Producer Chris is already out of a job, so that's not great.
I'm chomping at the bit, but Blind Mike is so good, and he
He's the
really
best.
is everything I'm not. He knows how to end a sentence.
I got to tell you, having Mike on the bonus show yesterday, we broke down Opie versus Jim from 2015, was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
He understands that stuff so well. And so it was just great to hear his perspective on things and knowing all the players and everything that was going on behind the scenes at the time and even after. He was fantastic on the show.
Yeah, it's amazing how clear his memory is about that stuff. It's like, oh yeah, I was just listening to this yesterday in my brain. Like, I know exactly what was said word for word, and you can pull it up just to verify it.
Yeah, he was talking about things that happened. Like, he didn't just listen to it. I did. I pulled all the clips, and he's just like, yeah, and then Opie's going to go on to say, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yep, here it is. You got it.
Hey, Carl, Ronnie in Syracuse. Love you, love the show. Recently, we saw John on TV in Niles or Youngstown, Ohio.
Right.
And he's doing his signature wheezing, laughing at his jokes. And it reminded me of Red Fox, who used to feign a heart attack by holding onto his chest with one hand, and the other hand was in the air raised.
I'm coming
and
for you.
He was going to see his dead wife in heaven and stumbling around and all this stuff. And when he actually had a fatal heart attack on TV or at the filming, nobody knew that it was real because he did that all the time. I wonder if John's not going to just drop dead one day in the middle of one of these interviews. That's what I got. Don't call me back.
You wonder or you hope? I'm confused about that.
This has been the longest sleep
both.
stream he's ever done. Just keep giving him
Right.
money, see what happens.
Oh,
send a
that's-
pizza. Somebody
That's
send
hilarious.
a pizza.
The most successful stream he ever has, he's actually just dead. He's been going for 48 hours. This is incredible. People are giving $200 at a time right now. Like I said before, a lot of callers do not like Clearwater Chad. Never have him on the show ever again. I heard you. I learned. I got it. You're right. The great Sea Moose calling in.
Ahoy, hoy, great sea moose here. Hey, Boner guy, sorry it's been so long. I have been considering your offer, and it's mostly good. The one thing I don't know if I can really get behind is going to the creepoff.com and voting for Carl. I really believe that a better investment is going to the creepoff.com and voting for Vinny.
No.
Vinny.
Oh, Carl, don't listen to that part. Probably should have said that first, but ignore that. Anyway, otherwise, great plan. Call me back.
Great Sea Moose. How dare you? Kitty gifting a membership to Who Are These Podcasts. Thank you very much, Kitty. Appreciate the support and appreciate you being generous for the other viewers and listeners on here. Boner Guy's got a short one here for us.
Hi, Chris, Adam, Annie, Carl. So, that cow photographer guy, he fucks, right? Vote Carl at thecreepoff.com. 25 seconds, motherfucker.
He sure does. So, Jade, we got some cow bikini photos that are up on our Patreon for Patreon members. Jade's not difficult to look at. And then Christine Wynn was also a referral from cow photographer as a new review girl on Saturdays for the Saturday listeners, obviously. Gary in San Diego. Let's see if he can get to the point.
Hey, Carl. It looks like Stuttering John has agreed to do an interview on May 2nd with Kevin Brennan.
Nice.
It turns out May 2nd is Kevin Brennan's birthday.
Cares.
So John's doing an interview. But does this mean that John has waived his non-negotiable $1,000 fee? Is he waiving the fee? The non-negotiable fee? Maybe as a present to Kevin? Or is Kevin paying the $1,000? Who knows? What's your guess?
There's no way Kevin's paying him $1,000.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll it to you, Gary. That'd be my guess. And we'll even see if it happens. A lot can change. King of Portugal calling in.
Hey, Carl. King of Portugal here. I have a question for you and the great, amazing man, producer Chris. I don't know who Opie and Anthony is. I'm running Portugal. I don't have the time. So I start Googling. Hey, man. Anthony looks like he's a Met, and Opie looks like he's the lead singer of Backstreet Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Opie looks like a crackhead, and Anthony looks like a fine gentleman. What happened? Explain that to a Portuguese guy. Cheerio!
It's a good observation. If you look at the old, I see a kitten in the background there, Annie. Ooh. If you look at the old Opie and Anthony photos, those two guys look nothing like they look like now. I'd say one of them aged more gracefully than the other, but I could be wrong. Oh, Adam, you're muted, buddy.
The member of the Backstreet Boys that he's referencing, it's either that guy or his brother, but one of them's already dead. And who would have thought Opie would outlive that guy?
All right. This is a good idea.
Hey, Carl. Perfect listener calling here.
Perfect.
As named by Carl. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hey, whenever Boner 48 or whatever that English wanker, whenever he calls in, you got to put a tariff on that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Do something, or make him sing his messages so we can fucking understand them. Okay, call me anytime you want. Thanks. Bye.
All right, I'm going to hold off for 90 days, but I will be putting a tariff on Boner Guy, so he better shape up or ship out.
What's up, Carl? Listen to the newest episode. Just got to the Girl Scout cookie talk, and you're saying Samoas can pound sand. Caramel Delights, bro. Caramel Delights, Samoas, whatever the fuck, are fucking good, bro. I think that's kind of an L take. You know, I ride with you. I'm a firm Carl food take truther. I even like the music episode, but hating on Samoas, not cool. Now, if you were to say fuck lemonades, I can get on board with that. Peace.
The Samoas, do those have the coconut, like the crusty coconut on them? That's what I thought they were. Those are the ones I don't like. Am I wrong about that? Anyone?
I thought he was talking about Samoans.
Oh.
we have a different breed of girl guide here.
Okay. Yeah, that would
don't have
make
Samoas.
sense. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, fair enough. Does anyone like Mounds or Almond Joys? It's the worst candy bar, right?
Almond Joys has nuts. Mounds don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, they
I
stink.
like an almond joy.
I'm in marketing, so I knew that.
This is that banter that they all come
Wednesday.
That's correct, Adam. It only gets better 3 hours and 14 minutes into the feed. That's when things really heat up on this
What's
show.
the weather like where you're at, Carl?
Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe it was snowing yesterday. Oh,
Breaking news.
It's a whole thing.
Breaking news. Samoas look gross. They're like coconut rings. Fuck
Thank
that.
you. That's what I'm talking
Fuck
about.
that.
That's why.
Call in with your worst candy flavor, black licorice in the lead.
And don't get this guy started on corn versus flour tortillas.
Wednesday listeners, Saturday listeners, fuck all of you. I'm an audio-only Australian listener, so I'm a Monday, Friday listener.
Nice. Right.
So, fuck me or fight me.
Very good. That really is the design. I want to be on your morning commute, Friday mornings and Monday mornings. I'm going to look forward to beginning of the week and the end of the week. So thank you for that. All the way in Australia. Oh, we did the financial audit with that guy Rex was the guest. He was something else.
Damn, I thought my life was fucked up, but that Rex guy from the financial podcast is the funniest dude on the planet. Oh, well, the one part that really got me was that he said, I stayed to witness the butthole competition. And then he goes on to say, well, the guy who won definitely deserved it. Like, how many buttholes did you have to sit through to get to the end of the fucking competition? Oh, fuck. And it just keeps getting better than that. I feel like enough people tell this guy to start a podcast, he definitely will. And that would be amazing. So, yeah. Yep, that's a good idea.
Got really good feedback on that episode with Patrick Melton was here. We're talking about Caleb Hammer's podcast, Financial Audit, and that weird guy who's afraid of COVID. But yeah, I feel like that was kind of glossed over, the fact that there was a prettiest butthole competition at the strip club that he was working at, and a guy won.
I mean, guys are notorious for having great buttholes, Carl.
Clip it. Hey, Doom, you watching this? I can't get enough dicks in my butt. All right. Eric Zane said something about military people on who are these broadcasters, and it got a certain person very upset with them. And he's been calling in and emailing in and all this stuff. And I thought this was an interesting rebuttal to that.
Carl, who the hell is that VFW guy? He's just like going, I'm going to get my mom, and then she's going to call the cops, and then they're going to get the FBI, and if you don't meet my demands and give me back my PS5 controller and my Oreos, you're going to pay.
So that's one person's take on it. Here's another person who's actually served in our military. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, Carl, this is Rob in Port Huron. Hey, this goes out to that guy crying and bitching about Eric Zane. If he was in the military, he'll understand this. Go see the chaplain and get him to issue you a TS card. What does that mean? It means tough shit. Listen, you are what we used to call a REMF, R-E-M-F, which stands for Rear Echelon Mother Effer. I'm sure that you're not or never were a grunt because grunts don't have thin skin like that. Quit crying and shut up. Okay, bye. Have a nice day.
All right. I did send that to Eric Zane. I thought that would make him happy. Little counterpoint to that argument. This is a short one, but I think the guy makes his point.
I skipped past all the Gary and San Diego calls. Fuck you, Gary.
Okay. Not a fan of Gary in San Diego. Last call, Great Sea Moose again.
Ahoy, hoy, Great Sea Moose here. You know, I used to be a Saturday listener, but then I saw the light and realized Wednesday shows are where it's at. So I even got my work schedule changed and everything because that is clearly the superior show where I can hear my best friend in the whole world, Adam Busch. Hi, best friend, Adam Busch. Call me back.
Hi, bestie.
Oh, that's exciting. You and the Great Sea Moose. He might be in Vegas. Might get to hang out with your best friend for the weekend.
This is all happening so fast.
It's pretty incredible, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Look at us. We're all going to be hanging out in Vegas in less than a month.
Look at that.
I can't wait.
Exactly.
Have a great time.
May 9th to 11th, Carl.
Yeah, you're right. Hackamania.com, promo code WATP.
I got to go. Bye. I got to go. 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 Bye. I got to go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Okay, bye.
Okay, folks.
Guess what?
This
The
is
episode's over.
Go fuck yourselves. Have a good week.
Bye, Brennan.
Carl, I love you.
Are we done here?
I think we are.
Listen, shut up for a second.
Man, that was a good episode.
That was a good episode.
I enjoyed that.
Okay, bye.